Okay, excellent. I should be up and going. Hello, everyone. Right, I'm Myth. We're doing some Minish Cap Rando. Um, just double checking I have everything set up. I don't have the tracker on the stream. Let's just quickly check this off. There we go. Okay. Right, that should be everything set up now? Yes, yeah, okay, that looks great. Is my mic... My mic seems very loud. Hello, sorry, was I blowing everyone's eardrums out just now? Okay, I think this is good. Oh, the music might be quite loud as well. I don't know if... Can everyone hear me fine over the sound, or shall I lower the sound? Let's lower the game sound a little bit. The game sound doesn't need to be that loud. I'd rather you be able to hear me. Okay, let's go with that. Anyone interrupt, like, pop up in chat and let me know how the audio is at any point. Yeah, so this is the Minish Cap Randomizer. We have had a load of, features and stuff added over the years, so it's going to be really fun being able to show this off. I haven't really done a Minish Cap Rando in a very long time, and especially like with when I used to play it a lot in the past, we played it completely glitchless. However, I am a speedrunner, and I know a lot of glitches. So we're going to be doing a very heavily glitched Minish Cap Randomizer here. We're going to be showing off a lot of cool sequence breaks, out of bounds, everything. Anything we can do to get to stuff early, we're going to be trying to do and show off. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see how this goes. So, yeah, I'm ready to go. So, hold on. Just need to do a core reboot first. And then also, very silly, I forgot to actually connect the auto tracking up so that I don't have to click everything every 2 seconds. It will take just a moment to set up. I've got my connector here. Please just work. Excellent. Cool. And that's hooked up. And also, very importantly, I'm gonna have my inputs up. There we go. Right, are my inputs displayed? Yes, here we go. Nice. Now you can see when I'm pressing buttons. It can like show and explain some things. I do also have a button counter that I will have on. I can show the button counter at the end if people are interested. But yeah, let's kick this off now. Cool. Right. Yeah. 3, 2, 1, and away we go. So what settings am I using? Basically everything. Everything shuffled, randomized, whatever. This is just going to be in the standalone randomizer. There is an archipelago version of the randomizer that has not as many features, but also I'm doing this solo, so I'd rather use the standalone, and there's some special features here which we want to show off. I've got all of the maps and compasses already enabled. They don't do anything, but that is very nice. We've got a sword and a gust jar. Sword and gust jar at the start. Gust jar can be one of those items that you just have to look in the entire world to try and find, because there's so few things that lock it. Like Gregor. Gregor is one of the only things that is like hard locked by the Gust jar. It's him and like the Pikachu fights. That's pretty much it. Like there's a couple of there's a couple of things that the Gust Jar unlocks. Like if you use the lily pad, you can you can use the Gust Jar to move the lily pad around. But if you get the cape and the flippers, you can normally do most checks. Speaking of the cape, here it is. Well, that's an early cape, so we get to do a lot of jumping now. I want to pick that up. That is a trap, and then I'm going to grab this, and then whilst it's hovering in the air, I'm going to quick walk. So I picked up the rupee, it added it to my inventory, but it didn't set the flag for the rupee being collected. So it's still there in the cave uncollected, because it only does it once the animation's over. And yeah, so if we need money at all later, we'll be able to just farm that, go to that rupee spot and do exactly the same thing, pick it up and quick walk, and we will dupe that rupee for money. There's a lot of money that we're gonna have to spend. The Goron merchant in town has three sets of items. Cape flippers this early, that's very interesting. Okay. That's pretty much everything we want over here. So let's go and have a look in town. So one of the only things that is shuffled to its own locations is going to be spin, or specifically scrolls. Scrolls are only at dojos, so I need to find spin attack. So I'm gonna go to dojos until I find a spin attack, and yeah, we're gonna get all different kinds of scrolls from the dojo, and some of them are gonna be quite useful, some of them not so much. Getting the rock breaker and the roll attack's fine. The roll attack can be pretty useful. That is 200, can't afford that. Can buy it 50 for 100. And buy another 50 for 50. Should check in the shop to see what is in here, and it's all junk. And then we'll check in here as well, and that's junk. Great. One of the settings I do have on is more than one Kaku game. We have 5 Kaku games. You can have up to 10, all 10, but it's very long. It would take like 10 minutes. I don't want the first 10 minutes of the like the rando just be doing Kaku games. But I do want to show some of the Kaku games, because like a big part of the 100% speedrun is doing all of the Kaku games, and there's some nice like Kaku game like optimizations that you practice and learn for Hundo. Also, we've got some cosmetic options on. We have random language for the text boxes. So the normal text boxes that are supposed to play, it's just randomize what language it is. And of course, we've got rainbow hearts, and we've got a different tunic color. Yeah, so a lot of the movement I'm doing is trying to optimize moving the Kakus in a specific direction. They basically always try and run away from Link, so you're kind of like, it's like you're reversing a car with a trailer. Like you need to go the opposite way of like the way you want to go in order to get it to move in the right direction. Kind of like the best analogy I can give, but like, yeah, it's just something you end up having to practice for a while. Okay, that didn't go in first. We've got a guy over here. Nope. Please go that way. Slash. I hope he didn't get caught in the corner there. Oh, this is the long one to go. That is this early. We are attacking a lot of Kakus, but there's also like... By the way, we want to get as many golden Kakus as possible. I guess it doesn't exactly matter right now because of already having lots of money. So I let one of the golden Kakus go away, but the golden Kakus you get 50 rupees each Kaku that you do, instead of the 10 from a regular Kaku. So the more golden Kakus you throw in, the better. So this is the second to last Kaku game. There's only 2. One over behind the things here, and then there's one up the very north side of town, and whilst we're doing that, we can get the bell along the way. It's a nice little 100% speedrun optimization. But yeah, we threw one of the cuckoos and then went and got the other one, and if we did the right kind of movement, it should be over here in this corner, right there, and that round's done. So now it's just the final round. None of those rounds require any items to accomplish, but this is the final one, and this does require us having either the flippers or the cape to be able to jump to the other side of this river. Anyone who's played the randomizer for a long time is very familiar with this round of the Cuckoo game. That's a kind of a little bit of a tricky throw there with the that Cuckoo to get it to go across the river without drowning. It's quite easy to make it fall into the water. And so the golden cuckoos, one of the things that make them tricky is they jump out of your hands after a period of time. So you get used to, like, kind of movement that you have to do with them, where you grab them and, like, you throw them before their timer runs. Luckily, it's a fixed timer, so you normally know how long exactly you have. But that's it for Cuckoo games. That's all I wanted there to be, because it gets a bit tiring after some time, and I wouldn't want to have to do twice as many. But the randomizer, you can set it up all the way to the full 10. We'll set a we'll push one of those boulders into the hole there. That's going to help out a little bit later. In the meantime, let's go into here, because we've got some shuffled pots as well. There's a pot over here that has an item. Yeah. And that is basically the vanilla item. We're getting a bunch of red kinstones, and green kinstones, and we'll get some blue ones as well. They're all junk. There is a randomizer setting for having to do the few. Sorry, I've gone the wrong way. There's settings for fusions. You can have them enabled from the very beginning, which is what we have them set to. You can have them like completely disabled, and they're never on, and you never have to think about them. And there's also they have the vanilla behavior where you get the kinstones, and you have to fuse with the NPCs, and it opens up things, and those locations might have randomized items, and kinstones get added to the pool in that instance. But we're not playing with that. That can take a very, very long time, and it's quite exhausting, especially if you have full every single fusion enabled. The settings are broken down based off of the kinstone color. So all of the golden kinstones, all the red ones, all the green ones, and all the blue ones, they're all treated independently. There's our spin attack. That's very nice. That's nice and early for the spin. Right, and we've got a spot over here. Yeah, so we'll come over to... actually, a little optimization here. I'm going to be doing a save scum, so I'm going to save there. And then I'm going to go and open these two bits. And if they're junk, and I didn't get anything useful from them, I'm going to soft reset my game, and it will load the save point. Yeah. Those were junk. So I'm going to load my save, and it means that I'm going to respawn here in North Hyrule Field, and I can continue and start picking the other spots much faster. If I didn't do that, and I tried quick warping, quick warp takes you to the last area transition that you did, and when we're checking those chests in the moat, we're transitioning from, like, North Hyrule Field into the castle area and back, and it's an area transition, so when you do a quick warp, it puts you at that entrance point that we just entered, right in the moat. So you'd have to backtrack out of the moat slowly. You could also use the ocarina to leave there, or using the sleep option, but the fastest one is to do a save scum. The only thing is that those chests are marked as, like, not opened, because we undid the action of opening those chests. But we know what was in them, so we knew it was junk and we could undo it. If it's something useful, you can't do this method, because you'd lose the item. So yeah, we're doing all of these tingle trees. These are fusion options that have been enabled from the start, otherwise you'd have to go and fuse with each of the individual tingles to open those trees. Another option we have turned on is Shuffled Dungeons. And, well, there it is. That's Palace of Winds. We can't do anything in Palace right now. Let me just mark Palaces in Dark Hollow Castle. Nice. Yeah. And keeping all of these tracked on my tracker. Has it kept... that. Sorry, I just need to move things around so that I'm not... Things are still visible by OBS. Very nice. Okay. Yeah, golden enemies. Golden enemies can be enabled. I do not have them enabled. They are... I forgot about that. Yeah, when you've exited from Palace of Winds, you fall. Because, I mean, the exit was you drop, so yeah, like, we preserved the transitions there. The only entrance randomization we have at the moment is dungeon entrances are shuffled. That's the only one available in the randomizer currently. It's possible to shuffle all of them, just some work needs to be done on the developer side to get that to work. Again, we're going to do a little save here, and then we're going to check this spot here. Is that an item? It's not useful. Okay. And that should put us back in by the town entrance. No, sorry, by the castle entrance. Yeah. And then we're just going to go over to Lon Lon Ranch. There was some stuff we could do in town that I skipped, by the way. There's some Minish checks, but it's a little bit slow right now to go and turn Minish and do some of the things that are only limited to being Minish-sized in town. I'd rather have the cane. If you have the cane, then you've got access to more spots that you can shrink at, instead of... Without the cane, you have to go to the carpenter's hut across the river, and then you have to go from there to every Minish spot, which isn't the best, so I'd rather not. We're just going to do a little bit of reverse movement here. Like, we're going to go to Lon Lon Ranch, but I'm going here and back out just to get this area text to appear. Like, it said Lon Lon Ranch. Every time you see that, it updates where your quick warp location is. So it means that when I go into this cave now, I can quick warp, and I will avoid having to backtrack the leaving this cave. And this cave is a little bit slow to leave, so just faster to go and activate that plot. And we go to here, and I think I'll check Lake first. I've got two options right now. I can go to Lake, or I can go to Minish Woods, and I think Lake is the slightly better option right now, just because of flippers and cape. If I didn't have the flippers and the cape, Minish Woods would be probably the better option to go for. And there's one spot up here that I want to go and activate as well. Okay, there's a visible bakery option. Yeah, we've added a bunch of cool, fun junk items into the item pool. Like, yeah, bakery things like pies and brioches and all of that, and cakes. So they're all in as junk items. They don't do anything useful. It would be nice if they healed you by like a quarter heart or a heart or something. That might be fun. Other things that are added to the junk pool is anything that's not useful because of the current randomizer options, like pinstones. Colored pinstones, like the red pinstones and stuff, they are junk. They're added to the junk pool of items, but it could be the case that with different settings they are useful, so they wouldn't be added to the junk pool. But we've got Deeper Shrine. There's a couple of things. There's quite a lot I can do with the Gusture, actually. Pretty much everything. However, I do not have a key to continue. Keys are shuffled globally. You have different key options, and the settings that we have right now is key sanity. So keys can be anywhere in the world. But we're also playing with key packs, which means that when you pick up a location that has a key, you'll get multiple keys. It depends dungeon to dungeon, because some dungeons have more keys than others. So the like in Deepwood, and a lot of the dungeons have 4 keys in total. It's going to be 3 packs of 3 at a time. We got the mitts. The mitts are very powerful. Like that, they lock a lot of things, and getting them early is very useful. We can go and do Hype Cave right now, but also there's I want to get this spot here before I go and do that. Yeah, I've already seen that spot there is junk in Lon Lon Ranch, so I have to go and get it. There's a key. Cave of Flames small. But, yeah, so, like, as I was talking about keys, Cave of Flames only has 2 small keys. So, its pack sizes are 1. There are two Cave of Flames small keys. And because we are doing glitches, we just need that 1. In fact, I have all the keys I need to beat Cave of Flames. I don't need the other small key, and I do not need the boss key. We are able to get everything with those keys. Glitches aren't incredibly broken in Minish Cap, but they are very strong, and it's very fun and interesting to figure out how they apply to specific situations and give you access to certain items and like locations in the game. It's not something like a full like exploration glitch, which lets you just like go everywhere out of bounds. There's still a lot of things that are locked by enough item requirements. And also, a lot of the glitches require certain items to be able to perform, so you might just not be able to do a trick until you get an item. So it's just another thing that adds like requirements. So we've got the cane, that's very nice. That's what I wanted for town, and it also unlocks quite a lot of other things. So overall with this randomizer, the goal is going to be we want to beat every single dungeon. However, specific dungeons have different rewards on them. So there are 6 dungeons in total, and 4 of them are going to have the elements as their required items. In fact, let's have a look at it on the map. Okay, so it's Cave of Flames and Crypt do not have elements, but every single one of the other locations does. So one of the things is Dark Hyrule Castle is shuffled to one of the dungeon entrances. Dark Hyrule Castle cannot have an element. So Dark Hyrule Castle is either going to be at the top of Mount Crenel, or it's going to be in the graveyard. So we've managed to narrow it down to those 2 locations. Now, it's gonna be easiest to go to Mount Crenel and check the map. We can't do that yet. Can I come in, please? Thank you. He was right in the way. Yeah, we got a bomb bag, that's very nice. Bombs is another thing that's very similar to the mitts in that there are spots that you need to use them everywhere in the world, and getting them early means you have to do less backtracking. Very nice. We've got a broad, diverse number of items very early here. I don't know why I did that. That is definitely not fast movement there. So the yeah, with Mount Crenel, we're gonna need to get a bottle, and the a bottle will be enough, but it would be nice to get the grip ring. The grip ring would allow us to move around Mount Crenel a lot easier. Or if we get the Ocarina, we can just walk immediately to there, because another one of the settings is Wind Crests. Wind Crests have all been activated already before we started. So as soon as you get the Ocarina, bam, you can fast travel everywhere. Yeah, here's another example of like the bombs being like super useful. We'll put that down there. that's going to blow up and give us fast travel access here into this area around Minish Woods. I still need to have the Nitsa equipped. There we go. Alright, grab that. It's Templar Droplet's small key pack. That is 3 keys for Templar Droplets. Templar Droplets has 4 keys total, but because the pack sizes are 3, the first one we get gives us 3 total. The next one gives us another 3, so we'll have 6 total. So we will have just spare small keys for certain dungeons, but yeah. There's only 2 packs of keys for Templar Droplets. Okay, it didn't mark that as me collecting that spot, but that's fine, because I have. Yes, I want to go into... No, I don't. Never mind. Yeah, okay, very quickly we'll check Tingle, and then we'll go down and check the dungeon there in Minish Woods. I'm just wondering what could possibly be there, and I don't think it's anything that I wouldn't be able to do right away. Yeah, well, anyway, it's very useful to find out what dungeons are where, so we should probably go and do that. The only alternative is to go and do Minish checks in town, and a couple of other things in North Hyrule, and maybe go into Vale Pools, but we can delay those a little bit. Another thing. I have double damage on. So I take twice as much damage as I would normally take in a in Minish Cap. Most enemies normally do a quarter heart, so I'm getting hit for half a heart. Bombs do half a heart, but right now it does a whole heart of damage, so I definitely don't want to be doing damage boosts. I'm so used to, as a speedrunner, knowing the amount of damage that I take and being very confident in being able to be more aggressive with my gameplay than normal. So I like the additional challenge here of taking twice as much damage. I have to play it a little bit safer and be a little bit more smart with how I deal with damage. So, oh yeah, compasses. We already have the map and compass enabled from the start. So we don't want to so it is completely junk. We don't need. They are junk items anyway, but like we already have them equipped. So like finding maps and compasses don't actually add it or change anything to our inventory. There's our green sword. Green sword is a damage increase over the smith sword. Now the green sword isn't going to upgrade in damage when it goes to the red and then the blue sword. It's just the full sword after this point. The very last sword that we get is going to be the next damage increase. So getting the smith sword, the green sword here is very nice. It's yeah, it just like the damage increase off of it nice and early is what we want. But the red and blue swords aren't useless upgrades. They are going to give us the cloning abilities. When we get the red sword, we get to clone, and then the blue sword lets us make an additional clone, and then the full sword lets us get our last clone. I am going to be going a slightly weird way round to the dungeon entrance, because I'm going to be going this, like, path around here to collect a bunch of all of these, like, item locations and stuff. I don't know what the dungeon is going to be, so it's just a little bit nicer to come here and pick up these locations that might potentially be, like, a pack of keys or something like that. That will be useful. So when I go into the dungeon, I'll be able to use it right away instead of like going into the dungeon, getting locked out and having to leave, coming here and then immediately picking up an item that would be useful. It's just a little optimization here. And then very finally, finally, we got this spot here, which we'll dig into, and then we'll go into the dungeon. Nice little spot there. You can just stand and hit these guys, and they don't hurt you. Yeah, those guys are mean. They will steal your shield if you have one. I don't have one yet. Luckily, the shield isn't that useful as an item. It opens 2 locations, the Deku locations. It can be used in the Octo fight, and it helps with consistency a little bit, but it's not required or anything. You can use your sword. Fortress of Winds, great. We don't have any keys for this dungeon. However, we can still do a lot. Grabbable items. We can grab items from a distance, like that rupee spot there. So that is completely intentional in the randomizer as a setting that is enabled and disabled and stuff. And there can be some logic requirements behind it. None of them are going to be required in the current logic that I have, but also I don't care too much about the logic I have. We are just doing things, anything that's possible. I'm doing a bunch of glitches. It's gonna be like we don't care. We're gonna be breaking logic so much. So this spot here is a spot that is accessible much later in the dungeon, and we're just going to grab it super early. Yeah, let me add... Sorry, Fortress of Winds is in Deepwood. Yeah, nice. Yeah, there's Zap there, that's fine. It would be nice to have a boomerang, because we would be able to... get fairies. Right, I'm going to do a little strat here. This is called Armo Split. Oh, didn't quite get it first try, but there's a nice backup here you can do. You just keep it rolling down into there. There we go. Right. So now this is going to be portal items. We're going to be getting out of bounds here. Yeah, there we go. We're waiting for a specific visual cue there before we jump up here and we get damage boost up onto layer 2. We're on layer 2 right now. We're above the regular terrain. We're jumped up onto the wall and stuff, and now we can just walk over all of the other terrain and stuff. We're going to be doing this a few times because this gives us access to a lot of different locations. So we're going to do some traversal over to here. Here's the boss area. We could go directly into the boss right now, by the way, by doing this. This is done in the speedrun to skip the boss key. There's a lantern. That is a real lantern. There are trap items in the pool, and we would be able to know specifically if that was a trap item because it would change what trap item it looks like. But that very much is our lantern. I'm going to normally the stuff over here is locked by the bow, but I'm gonna come back into bounds here and traverse backwards through this section and pick up a bunch of items here. All of this would be bow locked. There's an ocarina. That's not an ocarina, it's a trap! I really want to get the ocarina. The ocarina is the most broken item in the game. It lets us do ocarina glitch. Yeah, that's all we could get on this side, but we can go and get the lantern here. The lantern's really nice to get. And we can use the lantern in this area over on the left. There's a Wizrobe fight, and Wizrobes die in one hit when you walk into them with the lantern. It's very strong. Oh, I got cursed. Okay. So curse lasts 10 seconds. Okay, that's not great. Okay. There's normally a quick kill you can do in there, but I was cursed and couldn't activate my item, so I had to try and avoid dying here. We can grab some health here. There are guaranteed hearts in these pots here. You know what? Let's do it again. So there is a spot over here that I can get, that I probably do want to activate. And whilst we're over here, we might as well activate the quick walk to the... Where am I going? Oh, to the... We can activate the red walk to the boss. We can't do Mazao yet. Mazao completely is the boss of the dungeon, and it requires the bow. We can't do it without the bow, unfortunately. So that's been activated. We get more health. But we need to do this, so we'll whenever we come back later with the bow, we'll be able to go through the red warp and go directly into the boss. Assuming we'll already have the boss key. If we don't have the boss key, then we'll be just repeating what I'm doing right here, which is doing Armo's clip. So the Armos here moves based off of RNG, and if we're lucky, it will just walk into the corner. If it doesn't walk into the corner, we can manipulate it a little bit. There we go. And I'm just doing a little frame advance there, just to make sure that I get the right frame. It's a 5-frame window, and I'm just pausing sequentially one at a time, just to make sure that I'm on the right set of frames. I'm looking at the bomb explosion, like the bombs like flashing, and I know how the bomb's like image advances as you blow it, as it's exploding, it changes visual shape. And there's specific visual cues that we can use to know whether or not we're in the we're in the right frame window or whatever to be able to get it. And yeah, so that's all we're going to be able to do in Temple of in Fortress of Winds right now. We really need the bow or a small key to be able to do anything else here. So we're just going to leave. That was a nice little haul of things that we got early. We got yeah, we got some dog food, so we can hand the dog food in. There wasn't anything else major that we picked up from there, though. Other than the lantern. The lantern is bow locked. That's very important to know. But also not necessarily, because well, I mean, it is at least locked by one bow. There are 2 bows in this game. The first one just gives you the regular bow, but the second bow gives you the light arrows. Quivers are a different object. In other randomizers, if you see a quiver or a bow or whatever, they are the same. Like the first quiver or the first bow gives you the bow, but then any successive quivers or bows that you pick up just give you quiver upgrades, whereas in Minish Cap we have a lot of different things that affect the bow. So you've got the when you pick up the bows, you have the bow and the light arrows. We have the butterfly. The butterfly is just its own independent upgrade that speeds up the animation of putting the bow away after you fired it. And that's very useful. That helps speed things up a lot. There is a trick we can do with the boots called boot cancelling, and you can tap the boots after you fired an arrow to kind of get the same effect as the boots, the bow butterfly, but without having to collect the butterfly. But it requires you getting practice with pressing the bow, timing, and then pressing the boots immediately afterwards. There's some muscle memory that has to be trained into being able to do that reliably and consistently. I just got the angle retention there. That's a glitch, but it involves jumping out of holes. I got a very specific version of it, which is frame perfect. You have to do a direction change 6 frames after you are gonna start doing a thing for jumping out the hole. We'll be able to use that to get out of bounds in Cave of Flames. I'll be showing off a little bit later. The only visual indicator that I knew that I got it was the Link's sprite was mirrored temporarily. Whilst it happened, Link will slash with his opposite sword. It's very interesting. And yeah, we're just going through a couple of slow checks in town. Oh, close. Almost wasted my bomb there. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Pain unlocked a load of things in town. Also, we got with bombs and mitts, they do unlock more spots, so it's useful to come in and check this stuff right now. We do want a wallet upgrade, though. We can't do anything with the Goron Merchant until we get another wallet. The Goron Merchant shows 3 items at a time, and once you've bought all of the items, it will display an additional 3 items. We have it set to reset twice, so there's going to be 3 sets of items. So we're currently looking at the first set. But there's set 2 and set 3 that we want to be able to see if there's anything required on those spots. So we want to get a wallet nice and early so that I will be able to know if we need to save up rupees to get things later. That's another spot. This spot here specifically is locked by the 4 sword. You need 4 clones to be able to push that open and get in there. You can use the Gust Jar to grab that visible spot first. What else can we do? There's some stuff in town that we're going to do, but I just want to come over here first and check these caves out. There's a couple of caves here. There's about 3 items here, so we'll grab these. Yeah, oh, that's right. I was in Long On Ranch, and I forgot to head into Lake and hand in the dog food. But also... what was the thing in... it was Deepwood, and I got a key. That's right, I got a key pack for Deepwood. That's very important to remember. We got remote bombs. Remote bombs activate when you press them a second time. Oh, I completely forgot about this spot here. Yeah, you can grab that spot in the music house early. The music house is normally locked until you get the Karloff medal. And that's all. How many scrolls do I have right now? I got Fast Split and Long Spin. I do want to keep doing Dodgers until I get the Great Spin. Great Spin is very useful to have. So, I'm going to show a glitchless out of bounds here. And you're like, what did you just say? Glitchless out of bounds? Please tell me if this is, actually, considered a glitch or anything. But I'm just going to jump out over to this spot here. I was very bad with my jump timing there, and I managed to just, fall into the void. But basically, there's just no collision over here. If you jump down here with the cape, you can just, walk on all this stuff here. Right here, you can just walk down, and we're out of bounds right now. We're off the screen, out of bounds. And if we go over to the right, we hit the edge of the screen and do a screen transition, an out-of-bounds screen transition into, here. Basically, you can only ever do out-of-bounds screen transitions by doing a glitch, and that's basically the only spot where you're not doing any specific glitch there. All you're doing is just doing a cape jump to some spot that it was just lacking collision. The developers just forgot to put a wall there. That's all that is the case. That's not like a randomizer thing. That's in the vanilla game. Go pull up a copy of Minish Cap and just go there. That is the easiest way to get out of bounds in the game. Right, so we got a digging cave here. This has got a bunch of items. It's 3 in here, and then there's 1 in the cave down the bottom. Once we've gone down the ladder at the end of this section. Yeah, these beetles grab us and make us unable to use items, so we're making sure to do a sword slash and hit them through the wall before we start digging through. Ah, I got set on fire. Palace Small-Keys. Palace Small-Keys is very... do I need a single Palace Small-Key? I don't think so, actually. I don't think I need a single Palace Small-Key, by the way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't. I can't think of any reason why I would need it. Did we get a... No, we didn't... Oh, okay. We could go do Simon's Simulations right now. That's an option. We'll just come over to the dojo, though. Now, the dojo's not going to have something important. It's going to be another scroll. I will stop going and checking the dojos, because I do have my spin, and that's basically the only one that's important. Whereas, you know, the other dojo I'll do is probably the one in Mount Krenel, because there are 3 items in that cave, as well as the dojo scroll, so it's very useful to go over and check that. Yeah, I am starting to get to the point of having a lot of rupees, a lot of, like, locations completed, but no, like, no ocarina. Having the boots early would be nice as well, helping a little bit with, like, movement traversal. Minish Cap rolls are the fastest way of doing movement traversal. But only at, like, medium distance. Longer distance, anything that's further than 3 rolls worth of distance, we want to be using the boots. And also, when we roll, we have to press R every single time, and they are exactly half a second long. So you do have to be rhythmically pressing the button quite frequently, and it's just less straining if there's like, you can just press the boots. So we've got the dog food. Oh, nice visual bug there on the tingle guy, bottom left. The sprite palette's wrong. He's supposed to be purple, not orange. The sprite's definitely broken are reading the wrong palette. A very similar thing happens when you are in when you're using a oh, there's our boots. Very nice. Okay. Oh, if only I'd gone to castle after this, because that would have opened up. I would have been able to do some other spots there while I was there. Oh well, I'll have to go back there a little bit later. Palace of Winds is in there anyway, so it's not like I'm gonna have to, like, completely avoid that area for long. So yeah, the boots let us bonk into enter breathe and stuff, so we'll be able to check some Minish spots out in the overworld. That's most of what the boots are going to unlock for us at this point. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. If I get a bottle, the moment I get a bottle or the ocarina, we'll be able to go to Swamp and Wind Ruins through glitches. If I get another sword before that point, we won't be able to do that, and then it will just enter through the normal way, which is a little bit sad because that's kind of the coolest thing I want to show. I don't have the power bracelets. I can't get that spot. I just get this. That's right. So yeah, gold kinstones. We have the setting that they're all combined shape. So all the gold kinstones are treated exactly the same. So all the ones in Cloud Tops, doing the waterfall in Veil Falls that I just did, and all of the ones in Swamp, they're all exactly the same shape. There's 9 fusions in total, and we're getting a pack of 5. So, we can only do a certain amount. We can't do all of them. Now, to get to Palace of Winds, you need to do the 5 in Cloud Tops and the 1 in Veil Falls in order to get to Cloud Tops in the first place. So you need 6. So having that pack doesn't, like, put Palace of Winds into logic immediately. Yeah, we're going to be using the cape here to do some... I'm going to do some, like, some little optimized movement and stuff, like jumping over sections. This is the first dungeon Deepwood. And normally, you have no items. You have the sword and the shield. That's basically all you have when you come here the first time. Then, the next... Like, in this dungeon, you get the Gust Jar, and that's your third item. That's the first time you actually have the choice to be able to do a, open the menu and equip different items. So you're normally very limited in what you can do here. However, that doesn't mean that there aren't any... also, in the speedrun, there aren't any glitches to break out of bounds because of the items we have, but that doesn't mean that glitches can't be done in this dungeon. So, yeah, we can use the cape and pushing whilst like pushing the statue out of bounds like that, and then it like respawns us in, and as we use the cape, we get hooked out of bounds. And again, same thing with what I explained before, Fortress of Winds, we get onto layer 2, so we can traverse over the top of all of the terrain and everything to get to these spots early. Now, I do want to just grab this spot early. We can just grab it through the wall like that. But also, I didn't rotate the barrel, so I'm stuck in here. And I thought, yeah, that's what I thought. We'll grab a key. We'll grab some parts. So I do need to come back to this dungeon later. I need the boss key. There is no boss door skip in this dungeon that exists. There are glitches involving the boss door, but not a boss door skip. Where am I going? Yeah, so... yeah, we'll go this way. This makes sense. We'll do the out of bounds again, and we'll use it to get to another spot over here. So I'm gonna come over to here, mash jump. This is frame perfect, I think, but it's easily retryable. So you just like slide up go onto the stairs, and you slide up until you can start picking it, and then you just mash jump. I'm surprised I got it first try, honestly. The first time before, the time before is... Now I'm sure. Yeah, okay. There we go. Yeah, it is tight. Also, it's very important when we're out of bounds here that we do the screen transitions at very specific positions. Because you get that white screen flash, you will... it does like a layer update when you do the screen transition, so we can accidentally spawn ourselves inside of a wall if we do it at the wrong spot. So I'm intentionally doing it at a spot where it's going to push me back up also onto layer 2 into a position that lets me continue the glitch into a... I've got Rock Breaker, I keep forgetting that. I should be using it. I'm a little bit cautious of health, honestly, so I am going to be using the Gust Jar. One of the optimizations I like doing is with the remote bombs. We place a remote bomb and detonate it to be able to like blow up the dust. You can either use bombs or the Gust Jar to get rid of the dust. We push this and jump over to here. It's very important. I do not touch the water. If I touch the water, I have to redo everything I did just now to get to this location, because I will be stuck. I have the flippers and I won't respawn. Oh, there's a sword. That's a sword. Okay, there's our red sword. That's great. So we're gonna be able to go over to Swamp and Windruin, Swamp and the and Western Woods without being able to do the wanted to do some glitches to be able to get to there, but unfortunately it's not going to be possible. Caterpillar playing mean here. Come on. I do have spin, so I could... do I have... No, okay. I don't have this thing that makes it super easy. It's possible to one-cycle the... the Caterpillar, but it's very tight, and if you've got any of the upgrades, like Fast Spin, or, Great Spin, they will make getting a one cycle on that much easier. Is that everything I can do in Deepwood right now? I can get the basement spot, that's right. That's why I came over to this spot. Yeah, that's right. So, and that's why I activated the barrel. Come on. Thank you. So there's an out of bounds we can do on this lower section here, in the basement section of Deepwood. Unfortunately, it doesn't let us do anything. We can get onto layer 2 here. We can traverse all of the, like, this area. However, there is no way of getting down onto layer 1 in the... sorry, I am autopiloting here because of the speedrun. We always go this way. I don't want to go over to that spot. I want to go over here and get a direction change. We're going to come over to this spot here. There is a locked door here. The only spot to get down from layer 2 onto layer 1 is jumping down off of like a staircase or something, or like a door frame. Here's the door frame that we can do it. You can't do it off the bottom of the screen here. It's in line. The door frame is in line with the edge of the screen, so you can't get behind it and like use it actually as a ledge to jump down. That's very unfortunate. But yeah, that is the last thing that we can actually do here in Deepwood. So we will leave now. And on the way out, is there anything else we can do? There's a couple spots here. Yeah, there's some cool stuff here I wanted to be able to show off, but yeah, it just relies on... Okay, I was gonna go do the setup for it. I'm just autopiloting because, yeah, Ocarina gives us a lot of options for breaking things and going, doing out of bounds. There's another trick we can do with the Ocarina here to skip the red sword requirement for this cave. It's surprising that we got 3 swords and no Ocarina this so far in the seed. I had a much better seed in my practice. We got the Ocarina much earlier, right when it was actually going to be very useful to use. Got to do some really cool stuff with it. Cool. So, yeah, right, I don't think there's anything else to really do other than go immediately over to Western Woods. There are spots we can get along the way, but, like, that was basically all I was willing to do along the way. I don't want to go up to Castle yet. We can check those later, despite them being available to us right now. I don't have the shield yet, so I can't do the cave over on the right. We do have fast splits, though, so we can create our clones faster. That bar is increasing, building up speed a lot faster than normal. Okay, here's Western Woods. Well, this is still Trilby Highlands, but this is Western Woods. This is why I want to be here. Here's where items are. There's our bottle. Yep, that is a bottle. That bottle gives us access to Mount Crenel, and also to be able to do Crenel Clip, which will be a glitch that lets us get here into like this area. I remember I have boots now, so I can do this machine. It's much nicer being able to use the boots to move around. Grab these item locations here. I'm gonna go into Percy, and then I'm gonna go into Strong. There's still more item locations, by the way. That wasn't just the only one. There are lots of spots here in Western Woods that have big hordes of items. So there's a beanstalk down the bottom that's going to have a lot of stuff that we want to be heading to very quickly. So I'm literally just doing this to set my quick warp. And then we're going to come and grab some items here. There's 6 items here at big spots. We're playing with all of the settings enabled, so yeah, it's going to be really obscure digging locations that you just have to know in advance where they are. The beanstalk over here has the most items of any... I believe it's any one screen in the game. And especially on screen at the same time. This has the most. This has 16. Okay, there's another sword. That is a shield. And that is a fake cape. We'll activate it to see what crap it was, though. It got set on fire. Nice. And we got a wallet. Very nice. But yeah, that was the shield. So yeah, I will be able to get that Deku Scrub location again. No bow. No bow in Swamp means there are some locations that we can't get. Except we can get them. Normally you need to use Ocarina Glitch to be able to do it. However, there is another trick. Anyone who's done a Minish Cap any % speedrun before will know of the infamous P-hack clip. And, well, there's level geometry here that is broken, and we can clip out rounds. However, I need to kill this rope first, because he is going to be a right pain. And now, with that rope dead, we can pull this P-hat up over here. Please. Oh, okay. The P-hat is completely RNG where it decides to go, and it was just here right now. And that was fantastic RNG. Come on, keep coming up here. Yeah, no, that's really unfortunate. The P-hat just left. Yeah. Okay, never mind. We can't go over there and get the P-hat into the right spot, so it's just a case of... We gotta hope that the P-hat goes to the right spot and plays nice for us, otherwise, yeah. We won't be able to do this. So, I'll try again. I don't want to waste too much time here. If you can't manipulate the P-hat to go into the spot here, to be grabbed, the thing is he was right here, which was so unfortunate. Yeah, he was right here. That was... yeah, that sucks. So we are just gonna go to... We'll go and get some of the other locations and then go back and see if we can do the P-hack clip again. One of the other things I won't do is that you can do P-hack clip to get to the next dungeon. You can skip the entirety of Wind Ruins and get to the end, and then kind of like go a little bit backwards through Wind Ruins. Now, thing is, I've got Kinstones already, so like I can just use the Kinstones. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to do here in Swamp except for... oh, wait, no, sorry, I have all of my Kinstones unlocked. We have all golden Kinstones. So, yeah, going to Swamp right now, going through the Swamp into Wind Ruins is, like, logically required right now, so, like... yeah. Oh, I have so much available right now. I have all of the Wind Ruins and the dungeon there available. I have Mount Prenel, not much in Mount Prenel, like not everything in Mount Prenel, some parts of it. We don't have the Grip Rain, which is annoying, but we can go to the dungeon there. But also all of the Graveyard. All of the Graveyard can be gone to and done right now. The question just is, does the graveyard or does Mount Krenel have Dark Hyrule Castle? There's a couple locations I can get in Dark Hyrule Castle, but it would be very convenient if I could get the Ocarina and that Dark Hyrule Castle is in Mount Krenel, because that means I can go and access that very conveniently. We're going to be activating some shortcuts here, because you never know when you have to backtrack through some dungeons and stuff. Yeah, we'll see how much we can get over in this dungeon here, but there's no guarantees on like being able to full clear it or not, just because of the being like, you know what? Really, the only thing we're missing is the ocarina and the bow and sword. Like, as soon as we get those, we're done, and we'll basically be in go mode, but varying on the keys. Dark Hyrule Castle, I don't need any keys. And the boss key isn't shuffled. The boss key is rewarded by completing all element dungeons. Also, one of the things that we've got enabled is that non-element dungeons do not have required items for progression. They might have something useful inside them, but it will not ever be required to progress through the seed. Now, my question is, did the ocarina get put into one of those? Because that would be very, very unfortunate. Because it would mean that I have got a completely ocarina-less seed, and that is not what I would like to have in this. The seed did get checked by someone else before, and they said it was fine, so I hope that is true. Okay. Hey, Luna. How's it going? We've got Royal Crypt. So Royal Crypt, I do not have any small keys. But I do have the blue sword, so I can do the fusions and get some of the... Oh no, sorry, I can't. I don't have a small key, so I can't continue. Ocarina does exist. Cool. Ocarina does exist in this sphere. Sorry, in this seed. So we can get it. Yeah, my question was more, is it in a location that I'm never going to go to, because it is not a required dungeon. So, yeah, the seed has been very nice. It's honestly been a little bit too nice. If you're ever approaching this from a glitchless perspective, this is a fantastic seed. Unfortunately for me, I want to do some glitches, and I have not been able to. All of the things I wanted to skip or show early access to, I've got access to the normal way, so it is a little bit disappointing. I would have liked a much worse seed, honestly, because I would have been able to show more off. But the practice seed that I had was really nice. I honestly wish I did my practice seed here. It would have been so cool. Yeah, so... do we do... I'm not gonna waste my time doing Minish checks here until later. Yeah, so by the way, the ocarina is completely unrequired for actually, beating the game. I wanted to be able to show off some stuff. That's why I was just hoping to find it early, but... Never mind. We'll go up to Mount Crenel then and see if we can get anything. Oh, I completely forgot. We've got to do some stuff in town first before we continue. We want to buy this for 200 and then see what the other items are here, because again, with Goron Merchant, it restocks. Okay, so we need to buy all of these. This is set 2 of items. We need to completely clear that out, and then we will get a 3rd set of items, and that's the final set. There are 5 that are available for randomization, but the settings that we enabled is just 3, because it gets a bit silly with the price of these things. There are 5 sets in, like, is the settings 5? Oh, it's 5? Oh, okay, right. Thank you. Okay, that's going to be right. So we very much do want to be focusing on grinding through a lot of these. Okay. Yeah, so we'll buy that for 200 because we can. We grab that, and then yes, we're going to go over here. I can show off Barloff, yes. I will get most of the other items here, just because I want to check if these have money. But yeah, the Barlov gambling chess game is not gambling, in fact. It has a 100% win rate, which makes it legally not gambling. You just go and you win, and yeah, you just do that once. He is so generous, he just fills your wallet, and so you can use that to get money, instead of having to farm. What else do you want to do? There are some checks that we can do here. So we're gonna turn Minish here. Yeah, we'll turn Minish. And yeah, there's just two locations that we're gonna grab whilst we're Minish over here. I'm just thinking about some stuff we can do. Yeah, there's an ocarina glitch we can do in town, in the shop route specifically, to be able to get some stuff out of logic, if we had the ocarina. And then let's jump. Cool. Okay. So we have. Sure, we'll do another. I really shouldn't be doing more of these, but yeah. Well, okay, there's the great spin. That's what yes, that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to keep doing the. I wanted to keep doing the dojos until I got the great spin, because dojos always have a scroll, so if I wanted great spin, I had to keep checking at dojos. Ooh. Great spin's very useful. There's one more spin scroll I would like, which is fast spin. It helps with charging up the spin attack. It makes it go faster, but it's not like the most valuable or useful thing, so I don't mind too much if I don't get it. I guess there's Simon. We can do Simon right now. As well as adding in the mushroom that we just picked up. Another scroll I want is Downstrike. Downstrike is very, very useful. Is very strong. So I guess I will keep getting dojos until I get that. Yeah, okay. Give me fast spin, please. I would very much like fast spin, and then, this. Alright, and a nice little quick kill there. Just gonna do a little save here, because this is a long cutscene, and that was junk. There's a long cutscene that has to play there, so we would rather just skip it and just save beforehand and exit immediately. So yeah, we checked him off. What is this? This is 100. Okay. And now I'm out of money. Oh no. Except let's just go into Barlog and we'll play the game. What is that on screen right now? Is that a boot? There's some weird object that has just spawned on the top of the screen right here. That is not supposed to be there. But yeah, it costs 10 rupees to play this. No, that's like a pin cushion. That is definitely not supposed to be there. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, we just won max rupees by going in full 10. Yeah, that is definitely not supposed to be there. And now it's just... that's all junk. We don't have any money, though, so we do want to go and check some other locations out. And we can, because of... yeah, let's get rid of this milk. We'll use the water here. We'll pour the water here. Now, if I get the ocarina before I get the power bracelets, I'll be able to check the item that's in the roof of this house here. This house here. You'd normally need the power bracelets to push the things into place to be able to get up into the roof. But we can use the ocarina and do some outbounds and get there. We got cats. Right. The cats do hit like a truck. They hurt a lot. So you can grab this item, by the way, with the without the cape. Use the gesture and just grab it long distance like that. That is a guaranteed berry in that pot right there. And almost a quick kill there on this fight. Combination of Great Spin and Roll Attack is... They're fantastic. They're one of the very unique things for the randomizer that do make it quite different and very satisfying to the, like, in comparison to the speedrun. Speedrun, we always avoid all of the, like, the dojo upgrades. They are very slow. They just take too long to go and collect, so we never really have an optimal reason why we need to go and do them, and they're not required. The only one that is the spin attack, and that's the only ever time we go into a dojo. We always did wonder, is like, oh, is it useful to go and get the, is it useful to go and get the, like the Rock Breaker or some other item or whatever, and it always ends up being no. Which is unfortunate. It just means that we never get the opportunity to use some of these really cool items. The only speedrun that does let you do that is, well, okay, it's two categories. There's 100%. The, sorry, we can't afford that. We can afford that, but then we use up all of our rupees. It's this one, 200 rupees for that. We go and upgrade again, and we'll do the 300 one. So the 100% speedrun, we have to collect everything, so... yeah. Unfortunately, the 100% speedrun gets all of them, like, basically at the end. Not basically at the end, but... after you've done every dungeon, you then go and get the, you get a lot of, scroll upgrades. You have some, like, when you're doing dungeons, but not many, and not some of the best ones, like Great Spin. Great Spin you basically get right before you go into Dark Hyrule Castle, and before a big cleanup section in the overworld. I guess the other speedrun that lets us use a load of scrolls is New Game Plus. NG plus all dungeons is a category extension to leaderboard where we're playing on a ROM hack that has every item unlocked from the start. Now, if you have every item unlocked from the start, Dark Hyrule Castle is just open. You can go and beat the game, and it becomes a bit boring in that sense. So that's why we do all dungeons. All dungeons we can do a lot of very cool tricks to be able to go from one dungeon to another, and it makes the speedrun 40 minutes, and it mirrors the any percent speedrun quite closely in terms of a lot of the overall route and a lot of the tricks that are done. But it's like half the time. It's very cool. It's like a faster version of any percent, and definitely a hard version. All of the tricks become just like hard variants of the existing ones. That is another wallet. That's very nice. That will let us get the next set of items in the Gorn. Yeah, so that upgraded our wallet from 300 to 500, and that rupee there was another 200. So we are at 400, which is enough to buy the next item at in the game. Let's activate that, and oh, that wasn't quite at the right spot. There is a specific spot you need to stand there to be able to use the gesture on hit all of those pads. Yeah, so no grip ring means we're having to use the bean here, like you would normally do in the speedrun. But yeah, in Rando, it's very, very rare to actually be required to use the bean here. Normally, you would get the grip ring and be able to go and climb up without having to do this, because there are just other climbing walls, and you could just use the grip ring to climb up the walls and skip this section. Where am I going? Right, this way. Let's go and get the stuff in upper Mount Crown. There's not too much up here other than a dungeon entrance. That's basically why we've come here. There's a dungeon. We need to see what dungeon it is. If it's Dark Hyrule Castle, it's probably for the best. We don't have the Ocarina right now, but we don't want to really come back to do Hyrule Castle until, actually, you know what, let's drink this water and go to this fairy. Having a spare fairy is also always useful. There's no death abuses we want to do, which we would use the fairy for, but, you can always use the respawn from the fairy to just, like, be a bit more consistent. So, I am playing with double damage, so this game is a lot harder with double damage. So, I don't think it's ridiculous to say that, like, I'm being overly cautious by going and getting a fairy when I'm playing with double damage, just to make sure I don't die. I have done a good job of so far of not dying. Hi Yuki, thanks for the follow. Yep, welcome to following the Pizza Heart Project. We're raising money for charity. This is a this week we are doing a marathon stream where everyone is going to essentially like one after the other. People are playing different runs. There is a schedule available. You can check out the schedule and see all of the Zelda games that are being played this week. So I'm drawing a blank right now as to what's the run immediately after mine right now. I will be on later on in the week. I will be doing Echoes of Wisdom. We're doing a speed run, an all-dungeon speed run of Echoes of Wisdom. That's going to be on Thursday. And it's going to be this time, the same time as this on Thursday. And yeah, I know who's running before and after me then, but I just can't remember right now. Yeah, there's a real spread of people here and different things that are going to be shown here at the marathon. So we've got some people who are going to be doing randomizers. Like I'm showing off a randomizer. I'm doing a more like serious randomizer where like we got some difficult settings here. I'm showing off some glitches and tricks and some optimized gameplay. But some people doing casual playthroughs of this other titles. Like Minish does have a casual playthrough going through at the same time. 12 hours earlier, Moogle was doing a glitchless speedrun of this, and we also do have like vintage speedruns going. And there's some really cool stuff like multi-world randomizers, where groups of people are going to be all playing together. And of course, a lot of Zelda games are multiplayer games, so yeah, there's a really cool, diverse, different set of streams and events, and you can always check the VODs and see who, like, if there was anything that was on the schedule that you missed, you can always go and check the VOD and check it out. Also, there is a QR code on screen. You can scan it to get details for like donation links, the goal this week is to be raising $1,000, and every single small bit of small donation that you can make will help massively with helping getting us closer to reaching our goal. So with that little plug out of the way, now let's show off some cool stuff. So I'm going to be doing an out-of-bounds glitch here. I mentioned diagonal angle retention earlier. That is a glitch where if you jump out of a hole diagonally, you get a glitched face and value. A value you're not supposed to have. So I'm going to use that to pull this object diagonally. And we pull it from this spot to here, and it has overwritten the edge of the screen transition, and it now no longer transition us when we go through there. We can walk out of bounds through there. We've also pulled it back into bounds and opens the location for it. So now I'm just doing very oh, sorry, I completely forgot what I was doing here. So yeah, so from here we hold upright and we do 1, 2, 3 rolls while holding upright, and if we do that and then pause buffer here, bam, we come back into bounds on this bridge, and we just skip having to use a small key and riding a minecart. It's a very cool trick. That's actually extremely beginner friendly. Like if you've never done a Minish glitch before, but you play the randomizer or anything like that, that is a one-time only trick. So make sure you save beforehand so that if you accidentally mess it up, you can go back and try and do it again. But yeah, none of the inputs for that are very difficult, and it's the first glitch that is done, the first proper glitch that's done in the any% speedrun. So when you're learning the any% speedrun, you'll practice that, and everyone who has done a couple runs of the any% speedrun knows how easy that trick is in comparison to a lot of the other ones. But it's a sliding scale in terms of glitches and difficulty and stuff. You don't have to do all of everything. I'm going to be showing off some real crazy stuff in this, and you don't need to do half of it. But there are some easy, useful ones which you may want to give a try and see if you can do. So we skip the small key door, and we get to use our small key on that door. We don't have another small key right now. And we locked ourselves behind we're locked behind a locked door right now. I can't leave the dungeon until I full clear it. If I leave before getting a single item, I am permanently locked out in this seed from being able to actually come back into it. Well, until I find another small key. If I find another small key, well, yeah, I can come back, but it's fine. So, if we were in go mode, there are two different tricks that we can do in this section, by the way. We can do, oh. That's odd. Why did I respawn there? Okay. There we go. Yeah, okay. Wait, what am I doing? Yeah, okay, this should be fine. Yeah, okay, this is fine. Yeah. Sorry, I was mixing up two different glitches here. There's two different strats that we do here. This is the simple one that we're just going to do here to be able to continue. We just do a diagonal angle retention with a pillar in that position there, and we just like get clipped down through there, and it just lets us do this room a little bit faster. I ended up not doing it any faster at all because I was being weird with it. But like there's a slightly more complicated version where you can go out of bounds into layer 2 and then use it to skip the boss key requirement. We can skip the boss key here through a different method, which I'm going to show off. But the method that I had available to me in that room would lock me out from getting anything else here in this section, and we don't want to do that. We want to get everything here before we leave, so just gotta make sure we do things in the right order, that I'm not going to lock myself out from anything. So we activate this red warp just in case. That will let me come back here if needed. That red warp's at the beginning of the dungeon. Broken Picori Blade. A completely useless item. It's just one of the other junk items that is added in be a bit more fun. Right, so up over here, there is one more chest, but also in this area, just mark that on my tracker. In this area, we can do out of bounds. So yeah, that's the last item location in the main section of the dungeon. All we have left is the boss. Now, there's a angle retention that I have to do here, which is frame perfect. I have to press diagonal for 6 frames and then switch to pressing up. And there we go, I got it. Okay. And we do that there, and I didn't get it. Huh? Do I still have it? I hope I do. No, I don't. Okay. Did I do it the wrong spot? Okay, I got it again there. That was only second try. It's this. There we go. Oh, I did it at the wrong spot. It's the bottom hole. Never mind. Cool. Now we're out of bounds on layer 2. And we can skip the boss door requirement by just coming up to here, going over to the right, doing a roll over to the right, and touching the top of the screen, and we land on that pot and get a fairy. And we can enter the boss, and we skip the boss door. That is a... But the cane, the jumping out the hole, the way that I did, it was frame perfect, so it's quite tricky, and you have to practice it for a little bit to be able to get it. Yeah, so we're gonna get a boss done here. Yeah, we're gonna get our first boss. Damn, we are going very slow through this seed because of the lack of the ocarina. Really not letting us get to. But also, we've dipped so many dungeons and cleared a lot of dungeons, and basically are just like with Deepwood, we've cleared it. We just need to go and do the boss later. So we're just waiting for the boss key for that, honestly. And then the other things we're like, yeah, we're waiting on a bow to go to Fortress, and then we can go do Mazal, but like, we've done most of the locations in there. There's a couple that are bow locked, but we just have to wait out until we get the bow for that. Temple of Droplets haven't seen yet. Royal Crypt, we're just waiting on a key. Palace of Winds I can go in, but it's a non-required dungeon. It's not marked with an element, which means... Oh, you... Yeah, I just cleared this entire dungeon when it was non-element. Oops. There wasn't any required items in this dungeon. Yeah, I completely forgot that on my track. I'm playing this seed with the like expectation that I was going to do every single dungeon, so I completely forgot that. Yeah, dungeons without elements don't have any required items, and I don't need to do them. I want to redeem hint points. I guess there's a bunch of locations that I'm about to pick up right now. So let me just get these, and then if it's nothing, and then I'm climbing down, when I'm climbing down Mount Crystal, I may ask for specific things. There's my other Deepwood Small Key. I'd probably have 3 hands. Yeah, you're right. I can't remember what it was. It was like 43 points, or 43 locations per hint, or something like that. The Minish count. Yeah, so it's just a chest over the 2 chests over here. That's another shield, and then I'm gonna do a home. Oh, I won't climb down because I'm gonna home walk. But also, whilst I'm home walking, okay, so I need a boss key for for Deepwood Shrine. So that's going to be 1. I need the pack of small keys for Royal Crypt. So that's 2. Well, actually, I don't need the crypt keys, do I? Wait, no, I do. Sorry, that's a required dungeon. That has an element. Because it is in... Where is it again? Oh, was it the... I didn't mark it. It was in Fortress of Winds. It was at the end of Wind Ruins. Yeah, that's right. I got the locations there. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it was Fortress entrance. And I have... Dark Hyrule Castle is in the crypt entrance. That's the last one. I knew it was... Wait, no, sorry. Where's Temple of Droplets? Oh, Temple of Droplets has to be at in Cloudtops at the end of the thing. Okay. I really hope that the Ocarina is not in Temple of Droplets. If it is, this is a very, very, very unfortunate seed. Why was that unmarked? I thought I did this. Oh. No, I hadn't done that. Okay. Have I done all of the other ones? Is this the final set? No, this is set 4. So I do need to buy these items. Okay. How much was that? 500. Okay. I should probably do Battle of Game first. Yeah. Yeah, but I 100% need the Deepwood boss key and the Crypt boss key. Sorry, the Crypt small keys. They're... Then... what else? Just tell me, yeah, Ocarina. I need to know where Ocarina is. It's too powerful to be leaving till this point in the seed. I needed it an hour ago. Yeah, it's real unfortunate that it's this late into the seed. Come on. Yeah, those keys in the Ocarina, they're the 3 that I'll go with. Oh, I can't keep winning. Come on. Yo, Ruben, welcome. I saw you were running Link's Awakening on Switch. Welcome in, Raiders. Hey, Owen, how's it going? So I think that is all of... Like, this is the final set of Goron... Okay, it's all junk. Great. We have checked all of the locations here. So, and... Simon, yep. Everything in town is clear now. So, where do I... Like, I honestly do not have locations left to check, other than, like, a random spattering. I can come over here and I can get this spot here, but also I don't have the grip ring, which has made this really awful. I honestly do not need the grip ring if my ocarina is not locked behind the pit. If I get an ocarina, we're fine. I just need the bow. But like if the bow, ocarina, if any of the items are locked behind, like the Renal Beanstalk or in Cloud Tops or anything like that, I will need the grip ring. Ocarina is... Oh no. Okay, this seed is terrible. Crypt keys are in Fortress. They are bow locked in Fortress. Yeah. Oh no. This is an awful seed. That's so unfortunate. Yeah, I was really hoping for an early ocarina so I could show off some stuff, but the lack of the ocarina has made this just a normal randomizer instead of being able to be a heavily glitched one. Yeah, I was expecting it to be really early. What dungeon is Temple of Droplets? It's at the top of Cloud Tops. It's at the top of the clouds, top of the Wind Tribe. The way to get to there early is by using the ocarina. To ocarina glitch through the Wind Tribe. If you don't have that, you need the grip ring so that you can climb up Vale Falls. I have all of the golden pinstones already, so I can do Cloud Tops. But then I have to climb up through Cloud Tops and do all of the fusions there, and then go up through the Wind Tribe and then go through it. It's very slow, unfortunately. So Dark Hyrule Castle's gonna be over here. Yeah, Dark Hyrule Castle is going to be over here in the graveyard, but we'll clear out the graveyard and head over here early, because we never know what's gonna be here, and we can do a full clear of the graveyard on our way into Dark Hyrule Castle. Also, Dark Hyrule Castle has has item locations available inside of it. The goal of this is we want to beat every dungeon that has an element, and if we look at the map, all of the dungeons located at these locations in the world have elements. Oh, what dungeon is TOD? Temple of Droplets. Yes, sorry. And DHC, Dark Hyrule Castle, is the final dungeon of the game. DHC is the only one that I'm going to use acronym for. Did I say COF? Because if I did, I meant to say Cave of Flames. I thought I was calling it Cave of Flames. But I normally call them Deepwood, Cave of Flames, Fortress of Winds, Temple of Droplets. Or Droplets, or Fortress, or Palace, and names like that. Always, yeah, just shout out and be like, hey, you just used this acronym, what does that mean? I try not to, I try and use full names instead of abbreviations. Yeah, I need to know the grip ring. that like I need to know it. The Deepwood Big Key is going to be important to have as well. Oh, the rando. Oh no, sorry, the rando got fixed and with that page being opened. Yeah, cool. Give it a while. Okay. Yeah, Depressed Ferrari Fan has the spoiler. They generated the seed, and they have the spoiler log to let us know, just so that we're not stuck. We're not stuck, but like we're not having to waste a lot of time going to places that are never going to have anything important. We'd rather just keep the momentum of the seed going. So, there's some things that you're not supposed to be able to do without the Force Sword. One of them is going to be using clones and getting over to this spot over here. Like, this spot here, we can use a bomb strat to do this without having to create clones. It's quite a precise timing. There's a lot of muscle memory that has to go into refining that and being able to do that room consistently. But it's very satisfying being able to pull it off once you've practiced it. But it's definitely one of the difficult tricks that you kind of avoid learning at first and then spend a long time practicing it to get more consistent at it. So this spot here, I need to... Yeah, there we go. We do a clone shuffle, and we move from one clone pad to another, and it activates the... It activates the switches, despite not having been pressing all of the switches simultaneously. It works due to weird mechanics behind clones, and the fact that clones calculations get done later than links do, so we can move off of one spot and onto another spot without doing, without having, clones, and it would still count. So I'm doing a trick here called Stair Clip. There is, again, some missing geometry at this spot right here, and there we go, we just clip out of bounds. It is sub-pixel precise, though, so we don't know if we're going to get it or not, and we have to just keep retrying until we get it. This room here, this room is a room that, again, has another bomb set up. I was too low there. Yeah, I was like 1 pixel too low when I threw that bomb. But yeah, we got another bomb set up here, if I can just do the right timing here. Yeah, okay, that should be good. Yeah, perfect, there we go. That's real tricky. You never see that in an any % speedrun, but that is part of the glitch of speedrun, doing that strat there. So I just wanted to do that just to come and check this over here. Dark Nuts, the easiest way of fighting Dark Nuts is bonking into a wall. Oops, I miscounted. Well, actually, I rolled and wanted to try and hit him, but I did a roll attack by accident. Yeah, bonking into a wall and pinning it against the backside of against a wall is the best way of killing Darkness. Actually, sorry. There's a very specific quick kill for this guy in particular that I wanted to do. If it plays nice. Do I need to adjust slightly left? I thought I didn't need to. Yeah, okay. I don't have the bow, so I can't go and do the spot over on the left, but I can do this one. Oh, I'm so used to having the Force Sword and killing these Dark Nuts with the Force Sword package, not the Blue Sword. But the Blue Sword is slightly less damage than the Force Sword. It's 3/4 of the damage of the Force Sword, so yeah, the Force Sword would normally kill them in like 4 hits, but we need 6. So also, like the the amount of damage we do isn't exactly, like, lethal, like, in terms of their HP. Like, we overkill them, so, like, it's not always exactly, you know, do these many extra slackers. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. Alright, so, a couple more spots we can check are... I really want the Ocarina. It will help a lot with this section. I will come down here. There's 2 more locations I can get. I'm gonna get them, but they're not gonna... I would be able to do a little bit more with the Ocarina. Yeah, okay, cool. Right, here's the pixel-precise spin attack, if I can get the right spot. There we go. That was too high. There we go, okay. Horizontally, it's pixel-precise. Vertically, you have a big window. I just happen to be ever so slightly too high. It's something like 5 or 6 pixels, but, like, each sprite, each, like, tile is 16 pixels, so that's, like, half a tile's worth of, like, alignment, so it's not, like, precise or anything. Alright, so we do have a fight to do over here. Yeah, it's 7 of this guy. Oh, I can't do this. Yeah, no, I can't do that. I need Ocarina Glitch to be able to go and do that. Never mind. So we have to leave, and there is no faster way of leaving than by doing a sleep. Yeah, there is nothing else to do in here. What's it saying I can do? Sorry, it's telling me that there's a location that I didn't get. Southwest Tower. I can't. Yeah, that is a logic problem. Because I definitely cannot get that location. Right. So, all I have available to me right now is going as Minish to the through Swamp. That's all I have available to me right now. I have nothing else. I specifically avoided this. I didn't want it. I guess the other thing to do is check if I can do P-Hack Flip. And that's gonna be a maybe? And has turned into a no. A maybe? A yes! That is now a no. Never mind. Yeah, unfortunately, I had the Gust Jar 2 charged up, and I had to let go, otherwise I would kill it, and it killed it anyway. I had to just let it drop and see if it dropped into the water or not, and it did. Yeah. Unfortunately, it was too far away when I was trying to use the Gust Jar on it, and the Gust Jar overcharged. P-Hack Clip is a incredibly difficult trick to be able to perform consistently, and in the speedrun, we always do an RNG manipulation to make sure that it's in the same position every single time to make it consistent. If you are doing it completely freehand, off-base, like no manipulation, just YOLOing it, it's incredibly difficult. Because the P-Hack can do almost anything in terms of its movement there, and you have to kind of react quickly into the... Yeah, okay, that was available an hour ago. That is really disappointing. But yeah. Well, I'm not gonna bother continuing with the with Swamp Minish. That's such a shame. That was just like a one-off quick check, and You don't want to ever have to... Sorry, I've gone the wrong way. You don't want to have to go and get a spot that you've declared that has been your... like, I am intentionally skipping this because it is slow and I don't want to go and get it. And I full cleared the rest of the seed and I come to this point and it's like, yeah. That happens in Randomizer, and this is why you, like, it's so much more fun and enjoyable to play with a hint system that removes the luck. Because if you do a certain percentage of progression through a seed, you are getting hard locked out by a specific item, you should just be able to hint where it is so you don't have to keep looking for it. Otherwise, it just becomes into a coin toss of, oh, am I just going to luck into the right spot that has it? There's my fast spin. That is all of my spin scrolls. I do one down strike. It was probably in the dojo in the swamp that I should have grabbed. And the other dojo I haven't done. There's 3 dojos I haven't done. There's that. There's the dojo in the waterfall in Swamp, and then there's the dojo in Lake. After getting 10 hearts, I'm at 12 hearts now, so I've only recently unlocked that. So, yeah, I mean, that's immediately at the beginning. I would go and get that right away. Yeah, that's so unfortunate. Yeah. I'm going and checking these because it's very check dense. I know there may not be anything here. But I don't want... like, if I can just luck out and pick up a bow and a sword, I'm done. Well, I mean, I need the boss key. Okay, so that's the thing. I still need so many items. We're nowhere close to go mode. Yeah, so many more of these seeds that I've been doing, I've been getting done in around about 2 hours. There's our bow. Yeah, okay. I don't need the fortress small keys. With the bow, that gave me the access to the backside of fortress. What was it? My crypt keys are in fortress, so I know I'm going to be doing fortress before coming back to crypt. And then the question now becomes... Where is the deeper boss key? That's important to know. Unless I'm not getting told because I will get it. I'm even sure. Just do a little shortcut here to grab that item. It was in the other hint. It is also comfortable. Okay, sorry, I didn't see that was in there. Okay. Deepwood boss key and... Ocarina... Okay, sorry. Yeah, I see now. Deepwood, boss key, and Ocarina are in droplets. Okay, so we'll grab this one spot here, and then we'll leave. Yeah, so... It's just cloud tops, right? Yeah. I picked up a bow, and now some things are in logic when they said that they were. Before. What would have? I don't think anything, really. No. Okay. Right, what can I do in droplets? Without the Ocarina glitch. I can do a boss door clip over to the left-hand side and pick up all of the items over there, and I would be able to do Lily Clip from that point, which is what I would be doing if I didn't have the Ocarina. But when I go to the left-hand side, I will be picking up the ocarina. I would do Octoclip into... Yeah, I think it just makes sense to do the boss door flip into the... over onto the left-hand side. It doesn't give me anything early. Is that really what I want to do? There's my Tempest Droplets big key. Well, good thing I picked that up. DHC small key, I don't need that. Unless... How many keys is that for Duckburrow Castle? That is 5. So I can go and get the boss key. If I get the Force Sword, that is. But I'm in kind of like Force Sword for go mode at the moment. Did I not get the digging spot here? Did I not get this digging spot? Oh, it was a map. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I saw it and then just didn't pick it up. Okay, so... Swim Butterfly. Grab some more locations over here. I haven't checked the Big Goron before. This is the first time I'm ever checking Big Goron as a location. It's been added recently to the Rando, and I haven't played a Rando since it got added, so... it becomes available once you get a shield, and you give him your shield, and you get an item. But I've already got the Mirror Shield, so I don't lose my shield when I go do this. I just get the Mirror Shield. I have the Mirror Shield, so I just, like... Yeah, okay. Jump. He has a long cutscene, isn't he? Yeah, if you have only a small shield at this point, you lose your small shield. And then you can't use it. Yeah, I can't believe I've had to use I've done every single gold Stone Fusion. That's a real shame. I was expecting to be able to skip all of this. You can hint one more item if I want. Well, I'm Force Sword for go mode. Yeah, Force Swords are all I need. So if Force Sword is locked by something that I don't have, like Harlock Medal or Power Bracelets or something like that, then it would be useful to know. Yeah. Yeah, I just want to know, like, well, okay. I will be... I'll go and clear all of the dungeons. It's also in Droplets, okay. Droplets just has everything. What a dungeon. Yeah, no, this is... Yeah, this was a pretty horrible seed, honestly. Oh. Just everything in Temple of Droplets that is in Cloudtops. How awful. Why am I even doing anything over here? I don't actually need any of this. Yeah. Well, I guess we're in, like, technical go mode. Since we've been hinted to where things are. How is my actual progression through the seed going, though? It's kind of okay. I guess I was going to drag things out to the 3-hour mark, so we will continue to just do everything. Because I've full cleared so many dungeons, like, already. I know it only says that I've beaten Cave of Flames, but it's literally, I go back into a dungeon, beat the boss, and leave in a couple minutes. That's all I need to do for basically every single dungeon I've already been to. So it's not that bad. My first boomerang, 2 hours in. Yeah. Palace BK to do all dungeons. Yeah, I go on. Tell me where the Palace boss key is, and I'll... Well, I mean, I'm gonna find all of the like, it's gonna be in droplets, like, come on. Like, if it's not in droplets, it's going to be in, like, one of the spots I'm gonna be checking. Yeah, yeah, it's droplets, isn't it? Where am I going? So, we drop down here. Dig here. I guess the most frustrating thing with this seed was that, specifically, I avoided one set of checks, and it had to... It hard-locked my entire progression through the seed, which really sucks. Why have I done this? I've completely forgotten my route through Cloud Tops. Oh. Nice. Please jump. Cool. I did do the fusion at the top right. I thought I did. Okay. Oh no, I did. I didn't get the item though. Okay, never mind. That's fine. Yeah, 5 Kinstone packs, so I have 10. Yeah, I was like, yeah, no, it's because I'm looking at my tracker, and there's a big green spot up at the top. So I was like, wait, did I not do this? I swear I did. No, I didn't get the item up here because this is a, this item, yeah. That's a dig spot that I forgot to grab. Okay, right, now we can go do Wind Tribe and Temple of Droplets. This is so check dense up here. I don't even need to activate that. Yeah, huge density of item locations over here. Yeah, just grabbing a bunch of items. Right, and now into Temple of Droplets we go. Yeah. So I have to do the boss door clip immediately. Yeah. I guess I don't have to, but it just makes sense to do that. Because, like, I have 6 small keys and there are 4 locked doors. It doesn't matter how I use keys, so I'll just open the doors. Nice. A trap. We'll come and grab the items over here. They are ever so slightly out of the way, but honestly, it's fine. Yeah, there's two items at the very beginning of the dungeon that are just a little bit awkward to get, and we'll grab them, and then we'll actually get to do fun stuff. Okay, right. So we're gonna do we're gonna do boss door clip here. So it's as simple as activate the lantern. Do a bunch of rolls there, and then we land inbounds here. Okay, cool. I did a complete wrong number of rolls, but that is completely fine. I would have completely messed up if I did not have the flippers. It's 8 rolls, not 6. I miscounted. I completely forgot how much the count was. Also, I just... Yeah, Yeah, that boss door clip was, like, completely pointless. I shouldn't have done it, but also I had to use the boss door. Okay, there's my ocarina. Okay, there it is. Yo, Drunkle, welcome in. We're doing some glitch rando. Unfortunately, we are 2 hours in, and I just picked up the ocarina, which lets me do every single thing I wanted to show in this. So, unfortunately, we got just, like, a really bad seed in order to actually be able to show off any cool tricks or glitches or anything. So it's been very vanilla for a lot of it. I've tried to do some tricks to compensate, but it's not been the most successful. So it's going to take about the same amount of time as a ethical rando. I had an amazing seed for my practice yesterday, and if I hadn't done it and I had it for this, yeah, it would be great. Yeah, as a rando seed, this one was, like, really front-heavy, and then just really annoying because you just get locked into not being able to do anything until you just go and get the... Okay. Yeah, there's my palace smokies and stuff. So, what was I missing? I'm literally just missing the Deepwood boss key, which we know is it's in Fortress, but I have everything oh no, sorry. No, sorry. The Deepwood boss key is here in this dungeon, so I still need to find it. Yeah, Four Sword makes the one cycle Caterpillar fight extremely easy. And there's my last bomb bag. Well, sorry, not my last bomb bag. I thought I had multiple. Oh, I kept picking up fake bomb bags. So I was like, oh, I've got loads of them. No. Yeah, we're just going to do a little trick here. You move the lily pad, and then you get off of it and go and leave. If you screen transition whilst the lily pad's still moving, its coordinates don't get saved, and it gets respawned at its home coordinates. And the home coordinates are here, at the top of the room. And there is there's an ice block puzzle that you'd have to do here normally to solve it, and you'd completely skip that by doing that. Also, we can't boot dash on the lily pad. So this has been a very normal Temple of Droplets, honestly. I did the boss door clip, but I didn't go anywhere fancy with it, so it was very normal. I could have gone, like, directly into Blue Chew, but also, I don't want to do Blue Chew, so, if it so happens the Deepwood boss key is on Blue Chew, yeah, sorry guys, so unfortunate we didn't get to finish this seed today. It turned out it was impossible. It was impossible to beat. So, well, we'll just see how it goes. There's only one person who knows whether or not that's the case. We have... I completely forgot that there was this spot over here that I needed to get. Yeah, so we come over here with the lily pad. Okay, so let's do some stuff here. We shall do, yeah, sure. Let's do Ocarina Glitch. So, Ocarina Glitch is frame perfect, by the way. I just did it there. It is, you walk into a staircase and press the Ocarina to frame afterwards. This game runs at 60 FPS, by the way. Okay, there's my power bracelets. Yeah. Power bracelets acquired at the, Oh, yeah. Yeah, the seed, yeah, like, yeah, yeah, I don't know if it wanted to be a plan, though, but, like, yeah, I didn't expect to have a vetted seed be the Ocarina is not accessible until the end of the seed. The, Yogoro Bell, welcome in, thanks for the good luck. What else do we have to do? Yeah, so, sorry, I was, yeah, with Ocarina Glitch, I did it. You get, so what does the Ocarina Glitch do? It's there's a lot of different outcomes from it. Mostly that, like, you're getting a temporary version of the state of when you're playing the Ocarina and time freezes as a cutscene's playing, whilst you also have control of Link. But, like, what's the outcome of it? You get quite a few things. The tile Link is currently stood on no longer updates. Whenever you do a room transition, it gets set to that position, to that tile. But it doesn't really update again unless Link's in a specific action, like rolling or jumping off of a, like, using the cape and doing a hop. That's all dungeons going through. Yeah, I will do. Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I got the Deepwood boss key. Yeah, the Deepwood boss key is go for all dungeons. So, I mean, I'm not rushing dungeons and beating the seed quickly. I'm showing off everything in the in here. So there's some. With the tile update thing I was mentioning, one of the interactions that happens is at staircases. The game has a upper and a lower layer, like, system. And the tiles are very specific at, like, steps that let you transition from, like, layer 1 onto layer 2. By simply walking up and down. Because the Ocarina doesn't update what tile, Ocarina Glitched state doesn't update what tile you're on, we can get up onto layer 2 and then remain on layer 2 as we walk down the stairs. We just don't touch the tiles again, and that lets us do out of bounds movement. And there's a lot of very cool out of bounds stuff we can do. I did not accidentally turn the lantern off, but that was a very, very clean modded fight, honestly, with the great spin. All right, more fortress small keys, and really we're done with keys and stuff. I don't need any more. I'm just going and checking item locations now, just for, like, the sake of showing them off. And collecting. Oh, yeah, no, sorry. We already collected this because I had Ocarina Glitch when I did that. I'm not doing Blue Chew, but I'm gonna do Octo. Now, you're supposed to go and activate the switch here on the right and the switch here on the left to be able to activate the Octo fight. Octo is frozen in the middle of this room, and you're not supposed to be able to get past them. But there's a few different ways we could do it. There's a couple of... There's like 3 different ones. One I can't do anymore, it was boss door clip. One is Lily clip, and we use a duck jar to get out of bounds. I am doing another one called Octo clip, which is using this pot and janky ice physics. I need to turn off my rock breaker. That is the rock breaker. We have rando language, so I have to keep trying to... Yes, it is rock breaker. Okay, cool. I have to turn off rock breaker. It's very important I do that. Okay, cool. So, what is, what am I doing here? So I'm moving this pot to a very specific position. And we've got a sub-pixel setup that we do to line us up at exactly the same position every single time. It's very convenient with how the mechanics work here. But then we're trying to time a frame-perfect roll into the corner of the pot, and the broken ice physics launch us down into Octo's leg. Like that. There we go, and we clipped through. Nice. Yeah, and now we skipped having to activate all the switches and everything. We can just skip directly to the boss fight. Now, in Glitchless, you'd normally have an extremely long section of the dungeon going from going to activate the final like switch. Oh damn it! Okay, you didn't get into the right position. Never mind. I'm doing like a semi-manipulated Octo fight here. I'm trying to get it to stand in very specific positions so that it moves quickly. My bad. I accidentally pressed select there. Oh yeah, a couple of like the rando optimizations. Rando has some nice quality of life features, like you can press select to use the ocarina at any point to be able to fast travel quickly. One of the other ones is you can press L to use the boots whenever. You don't need to have the boots equipped. It's very, very cool that the Rando has these things available. Alright, so you're up here. Also, in Rando, this, oh, I messed up the ending, but that's fine. That's no biggie. So, normally in the game, the very final stage of the fight there is completely random whether or not he's going to shoot 3 rocks in a row, or if he does one of his other actions, which is going to be doing his suck action, firing a rock in and spraying ink everywhere. Spraying the ink everywhere loses 30 seconds. And it is completely random. Like, it just uses RNG to decide whether or not it happens or not. So, anyone who's playing and gets up to this point, if you're doing like a race or something, you get basically a completely luck-based time loss of either 30 seconds or a minute, because it can happen up to 2 times without you making any mistakes. And it kind of sucks that, like, oh yeah, there's a 1 minute time loss that you can have happen to you through pure luck. So, the rando patches it to always shoot 3 rocks at the end. There is an RNG manipulation you can do to make the outcome consistent, but, as a speedrun, it's been developed for the Japanese version, and RNG manipulations inherently are version specific. The game functions differently in different versions. So the randomizer based on the European version of the game, we would have to make a completely new RNG manipulation for it. No one wants to do that, and no one wants to, as randomizer players, learn an RNG manipulation for this boss fight. It has to be started from a saving queue or anything. So we've just locked the RNG. It's always the same thing every single time. What can I do? Oh, yeah, no, sorry, that's right. Was I right? Was that what I wanted to do? Yeah, sorry. I'm overthinking what I want to be doing here. So here's the boss door. We're gonna do a boss door clip. Yes. I keep forgetting to save beforehand. I'm gonna rewind if this doesn't work, because this is annoying. Please work. Nope. Yeah, okay. I knew that was gonna happen. Yeah, okay. There's a very specific thing I'm supposed to do here. It was either 2 or 3 rolls, I couldn't remember. I did 2. It's not 2 or 3 rolls, it's 1 roll. Okay, it's 1 roll here. Yeah. I need to save before I do these, but... yeah. There we go. I had 0 problem doing it in practice yesterday, so I ended up just completely forgetting that saving was like an important thing I need to do in these seats. Okay, so yes, I want to have full sort of here. So I do that and that, and that. There we go. Okay. So the only reason why I did that boss door clip just there is so that I can come to here quickly. Instead of having to climb all the way up the front section of the dungeon again, we just did a quick walk to the top. There's my small key. For crypt. I will do the boss last. There's a couple things I want to do. Okay, we got Ocarina Glitch. And, okay, cool, he's not blocking me, that's great. So one of the things with Ocarina Glitch is time's frozen right now. As soon as we leave the screen, now time's going to behave like normal. And look at all of these outbounds, like, movements and, like stuff we can do. Like, we just walk over the top of the terrain. We're going to fight this Dark Nut over here. Boot dash down here. Oh look, yeah, we can. Yeah, Ocarina Glitch. We just walk over walls, over floors and stuff like that. Very good. I should turn Rock Breaker back on. I had to disable Rock Breaker for the Octo clip that I was showing off. Yeah. Is there anything else I can show for Temple of Drop, for Fortress of Winds? But yeah, basically we can use Ocarina Glitch to skip the small keys here by doing that, but I'm just going to use the small key instead of doing Ocarina Glitch again here. You can use Ocarina Glitch and just, like, run immediately across here. It's kind of fast, but then there's no real use to use Ocarina Glitch. You, in fact, have to disable it. Right. These guys suck. They all rushed me there. Those floor masters, they grab you, they send you back to the beginning of the dungeon. It's kind of awful. So I want to activate that, and then come over here. I'm going to push this down to here. I need to change my clones to 2. And then we're going to make clones at a specific spot here. Like, this isn't supposed to work, and I could have killed my clone there, but I was very specific with my movement. And doing it that way lets me collect the item drop with my clone whilst I'm further down. It's just like a little optimization there. It's a nice cool strat. Yeah, unfortunately, this is one of the worst locations to check in the whole dungeon, because it is just locked by being Minish, and there's no way to get into this room right here without being Minish. And there is the Karlov Medal. Right, and that should be basically everything in this dungeon done, and we can just go fight the boss. I've already shown off the portal items we do to get to the boss without the boss door clip, without the boss key. So I didn't need the boss key. I could just do that. I've already done it multiple times. But yeah, we'll just fight the boss immediately. Yeah, so Mazao is a guy who's got hands, and there are eyes in those hands. And we're very specific with our lineups and movement and stuff. And the hand movement is basically always going to be exactly guaranteed and the same every time. So it's just a matter of practice to get used to the timings of everything. But like the action is random. So here, it could have been either the left hand or the right hand that decided to slam. Slightly off on my timing there. If I was a little bit better timed with my bow on the right, I could have killed that hand before it did the slam, but that'll lose like a second. We do a cool trick where we use the sword, and like we hold the sword out and clank against the. Oops. We clank against the hand right as it as like we do enough damage to kill it, and then like we kind of like clip through and put through it like that. Yeah, there's an interesting mechanic behind that where it's an object hitbox, and the sword hitting it disables the hitbox, so we can go through it temporarily. But yeah, that is a Mazao fight. Also, the pillars inside the hands, they're basically random every single time, except it can't be at the previous one twice in a row. So that's the only thing you have to remember, is like where the pillar was the previous time, and then it's not going to be there, it's going to be somewhere else. Cool, right, so let's leave here. Where's the next... I should probably just clean up the hood whilst I'm at it. And then... yeah, because I do really want to get the... I really want to have Downstrike before I go to Palace. That would be great. Yeah, I'm just... it was vanilla. Well, it wasn't vanilla, but like it was swapped vanilla. Like here and Castle had both the beam scrolls, and they were just like swapped. Okay, so it's definitely gonna be in Swamp, so I'm gonna go back to Swamp, which has my crypt, so I have to go by there anyway. So that was no. Oh yeah, sorry, no Peril. Yes, that is Peril Beam, and Sword Beam is in the... Yeah, no, okay, they were both vanilla. Both of them were. Okay, sorry, I thought they were swapped to vanilla for a moment, but no, it is. Yeah. Okay, so here's Green Shoe. So the thing with Green Shoe is that it's, it does have health, but the health value is so low. It's 4 hits with the regular sword to advance the cycle to the next cycle, and then you can just keep doing damage to the boss, and it doesn't do anything. All that matters is that you hit the threshold in order for it to progress to the next cycle. Yeah. So... But the amount of time the Chew is actually on the ground for is RNG, and that kind of tells you how long, like, you know, that's lets you see how much damage you're doing to it, but, like, you know, you don't do enough damage to it, and then it gets up, it's just on a fixed timer. Okay, so that's that dungeon done. Let's go to, yes, let's go to Royal Crypt, because that's what I have next. Now, yeah, so what I wanted to show off... Oh, yeah, I'll check this out, because... Does it have my downstrike? That's my dash attack. Okay, my downstrike is my last... Yes, my last thing, of course it is. Okay, cool. There's Ocarina Glitch. So with Ocarina Glitch, when time is frozen, if you bonk, you soft lock. But we just touched a layer 2 point there, and that is going to ensure that we are able to walk over the top of the train. I'm being very cautious right now, because I know that there's some collision that we can bonk off of and, like, soft lock ourselves, but I just cancelled the Ocarina Glitch there by pressing, like, the Ocarina again, and coming over here. So that's what I wanted to do earlier to avoid using the bow. So you're supposed to use the bow to get access to this area, and I got to be able to use the Ocarina to do that. Now, I want to show P-Hack clip, so, dude, you're gonna be letting me do that, okay? Got it? Alright, play nice. Come over here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Alright, he's being a bit of a pain, so... stand there, please. Right, there's the blast. I'm gonna climb up to here. And there we go. Right, up we go. I have the mirror shield, but I don't want the mirror shield. I want a regular shield. I can't swap to the regular shield. I swear you could. I don't think this works with mirror shield. I'll give it a try. That's a bad position. That's a bad position. Can you not? Can you not? Can you not? Okay, okay, he's out. Okay, that was very, very close. Why can't I hit? Okay, the P-Hat's not playing nice. That's fine. Let's go for it. That's the wrong button. I'm completely pressing all of the wrong buttons here. Okay. Okay. Right, we'll try this again. Sorry, I wanted to do this so I don't have to do Wind Ruins, but also you can do an Ocarina Glitch. This is just a more difficult version that you would do if you don't have the Ocarina. And we do it in the N% speedrun. Okay, we'll go with this spot. This is a... Okay, we did just clip through. Okay, there is missing collision there, and the P-Hack can clip us through. And yay, we're on layer 2 right now. We come to this spot here. We transition, we're out of bounds. We're on the right-hand side, and we're moving to the right. We keep dashing over to the right, and we hit this transition here. And then we go up, and we're in the dungeon. And crypt... is there anything really to show off here in crypt? There's some cool tech you can do with clones. Like, if you only have 2... Okay, that sucks. Didn't quite get there. I knew that you could go and do that in the right cycle, but I just missed out on it. I was past it. Okay, so with only 2, if you come to this... If you're in this dungeon with only red sword, you can just do a shimmy like that and pick up the, like the thing with less clones than you thought that you should be able to. Dodge that guy. I'm very used to specific cycles that aren't going to be the case here. Okay. Now we dash up through here. This fight here, typically you'd want to use the lantern to light these Gyptos on fire, but because I've got 4 sword and all of the spin scrolls, it's faster to just do a great spin, because you got a faster great spin with the 4 sword, and the 4 sword does so much damage. If you have anything else, normally you just use the lantern, light both of them on fire to turn them into skeletons, and then you kill each of the skeletons. There's the DHC Big Key, but we're not done yet. I could go to DHC. All I have to do is go to DHC and beat Vati, but I don't want to do that yet, because there is a dungeon I haven't beaten, which is Palace of Winds. The Palace of Winds is up here in the castle. So I'm gonna go show that because Palace of Winds is very cool. There is an incredible amount of techniques and strats we can do to speed up this dungeon, and I want to show off them. So we have just the right amount of time to be able to do Palace of Winds and go meet Venti and finish them up. Let me have the right number of coins. That would be a good idea. I do want to have... So these Stalfos move when you get within proximity range of them. So I kind of like stay a little bit out of range, but then I just start walking towards them to trigger them to actually jump at me. They always jump at you the moment that you get within their proximity. So there is a spot here. We might as well grab this, but like it's not the most important to get. So over here there is a boss fight, like a mini boss fight, and I'm gonna intentionally like start the fight whilst stood over that spot. I didn't activate it immediately because I want to do this fight with bombs. Oh, you didn't die! I threw my bomb too far to the right, to the left, and he didn't die. But yeah, that would have insta-killed all of them at the end there, and it would have been like a quick kill. But I was stood too far to the left, and my bomb fell off the ledge instead of blowing up and killing him. Okay, so here we got a cool strat here. This is Dream Jump. You time a jump like that, and it lines all of your movement up exactly perfectly to be able to just land on the movement platform like that. And we skip a bunch of rooms over on the right-hand side, which don't have any items whatsoever, so we get to do a load of cool skips there. So up here, we got another stair clip. So, let me, it's a mirror shield? Yeah, mirror shield, okay. We can stand there, and then we get pushed like this. I'm doing a sub-pixel setup right now. Go there, up. Over to the right, I have to do a pixel alignment here. And then do a boot dash to the right, and bam, we're through. And we just skipped all of the moving platform puzzles and stuff. And we're all the way, if you go all the way down, you get to like this section here, and you can continue like normal. We are gonna just actually skip the locked door here as well. Yeah, you know what? There's two things I could be showing off. I'm gonna go back over to here actually, because just to make sure that this is fine. So I'm gonna come over to here. I'm gonna do a boot dash over to this spot over here. So there's a really cool strat that you can do here. So if you're in here and you boot dash over to like the bottom right hand side of the screen here, hold down left, and then as you're in this room holding down left, throw the boomerang. If it's the magic boomerang, it will just hit the switch immediately, and then you get the now you can just avoid getting that check until later in the dungeon, because you can just use the Gust Jar or the boomerang to be able to grab it from long distance after you've activated the switch. But if you are here, back in bounds, you can do a angle retention off of this hole here with the cane shot, and you get a Wobble Hop. It's called a Wobble Hop, where you get a diagonal cane jump. And it jumps you up onto layer 2, and you can get back onto layer 2 and continue to glitch, which was just to skip that locked door. I have 6 small keys, I don't need to do that. But if you are low on small keys, you can totally do that. If you're good on your movement, you can hit this cycle onto the fan, and it blows you across. Then we got these rooms here. There's some very nice movement that we spend a long time practicing. Palace is a very fun and enjoyable dungeon to optimize. The more you practice it, there's a real reward from like the time we spend practicing it. You get a lot faster. It's very noticeable. So now we got this room here. These chain soldiers are quite easy to fight. All you need to do is when they're spinning their thing, jump over them. Jump directly over the top of them. They'll do their attack, and then you can just kill them. That item you can grab whilst like out of midair. Should I have? Okay, so there was an Ocarina glitch I could have done. It's frame perfect. It's a one-time only cutscene Ocarina glitch that would have let me get the next item quickly. I didn't want to waste time trying to go and get that, so we won't be showing it off. It's extremely difficult. It used to be in the world record route and basically killed the speedrun because of it. But I'm going to be showing off some other tricks instead. So we got boss door clip. We're going to do it again. So boss door clip here. We go directly to the right after we do the boss door clip. Come back into the left and go up. We get that white screen flashing. We're in this room. We're going to dash directly up, brush against the top right corner here, and come back into bounds. Over here, now in this room, we're on layer 2, and we can go directly into the boss room, but we don't want to do that right away. We want to come back into bounds here and open this boss door. That means now, the door is open after we've beaten the boss. We're at the end of the dungeon, but we still have the rest of the dungeon we haven't done. So we want to kill the boss now, and then go back into the dungeon and do the rest of it. I have 3 clones, so I'm going to do my sword strat like this. Georg. Georg is a incredibly fun boss in the randomizer. It's so fun. We get to use Great Spin and Down Strike to make this boss so easy. So I used a Great Spin on the blue ones, and I used Down Strike here with the right position. You hit the eyes without having to create clones. Like, you do not need to worry about making clones in this fight. If you have Down Strike and Great Spin. That's why I wanted to make sure I had Down Strike before I came into this fight. So here's a Great Spin. I do a little strat where I cool off, and then I match the pause button to respawn on the Georg. It speeds it up a little bit. The next cycle begins the moment you land on the red Georg. Also, I need to be worried about my health. I am playing with double damage by default, so I've had to be a little bit careful with how much damage I take. Those orbs, when they hit you, they do a whole heart of damage, so in this they would be doing 2 hearts of damage. So if I got hit by a thing, I would have died, but I do have a fairy as a backup just in case, but I've been a bit more aggressive with my health here because I have so much. And yeah, that's that boss done. We've got about 15 minutes left, so I can show up a little bit left in Palace and then just rush directly to Batty and beat that. There is the quiver. We'll be fine not getting the quiver. So if you need a fairy here, this top right pot here has a fairy. This one also has a path. So going backwards through Palace is very weird. So we should be able to do a jump like that, up to here. So what you would normally want to do is when you're going down a set of clouds, what you want to do is you want to jump onto the cloud and then roll off the top of it. If you time the roll correctly, you kind of void inside the cloud instead of what happened there. And voiding inside the cloud makes you land on the top of the previous set of clouds. So we're going to be doing some backwards Palace right now. Very interesting! Yeah, really bad with the moblins there. I want a bottle. Okay, so here there is a locked door the other side of this doorway, so I'm going to make sure I'm going to brush the right-hand side of here, and then I can press hop, and I can press jump, and I come back into bounds, and I can come back down into here. So, yeah, from this point, you could just come and hit the switch, and then grab the item that was there. I'm going to go over to here as well, and then just, like, fall down here, grab this spot. Wizrobes are best fought with the lantern. But yeah, we shall go over here and show off some backwards palace stuff a bit more. But yeah, that's basically all that you do in Palace to do it backwards, is like specifically doing the boss door clip to get to the boss early, and then having to do that jump through the doorway. So there's some cool strat we can do here with the bombs to avoid having to create clones. Perfect. That, honestly, is way more consistent than using the clones. The strat there I was doing was very fast, and not exactly, like, the only way of doing it. Like, you can just place a bomb and then wait for it to explode. You don't have to pick up the bomb and run it like I did across the room. What else is there to do here? I'm gonna show off the... Yeah, please, can I have some help? That's also something I would really appreciate. No, rupees are fine, I need help. So these guys suck because not because they send you back to the beginning of the dungeon, that's obviously awful, but their hitboxes are as big as the arrow that you're firing at them. But, like, they have the same hitbox as a horizontal arrow. They have an identical hitbox to that, which means they're wide and like vertically narrow. So if you're firing arrows sideways, it almost never hits them. It's really annoying. But if you're firing it vertically, you're more consistently gonna hit them. Please no. Okay, yeah, Gibdo's hugging you real bad. Loses a lot of health. Yeah. Oh, I could have got this spot earlier. I completely forgot. You can just grab it long distance with, like, the Gust Jar. I should have done that earlier instead of doing this extra movement. So, yeah. Then we've got this cool jump here. With a right timing to it, you can do that. Sure, why not? Let's activate the wall here. And then, yeah, you would do, like, you can either throw a bomb over there to hit with them. Does that hit? It doesn't hit. Okay. Or you can do an alignment with the bow. You line up the bow with, like, the edge of this, like, these tiles here. You fire it. You need to be a bit further forward. And then, yeah, there we go. We hit the switch. I was trying to move there, and, like, when I stopped moving, it was because, yeah, we hit the switch, and we had the sound effect for activating. And that's it. We could keep going up through the rest of the dungeon. Sure. I'm just very cautious about my health and grab some bottom fish to make this easy. There. Yeah, there's not too much left in the time. There's just one more chest. We'll just grab this one and we'll be done. So there's a nice easy strat for this room. You just, like, face down here, hold the cape and hold up. But you need to be facing down. And then you just get locked into a backwards glide. And also the backwards glide accelerates you faster than forwards glide, which makes that much easier if you do it backwards than if you do it forwards. And that's Palace basically done. So yeah, now we just have Dark Harrow Castle. I'm gonna grab some fairies first before we go in. In Rando, with this cave open, this has fairies. So I'm gonna just be nice and careful about this and go and grab fairies. Alright, we've got about 10 minutes left, which is just enough time to go, and we've already done a lot of Dark Hyrule Castle. I just want to... Yeah, am I gonna just... Yeah, I will... Will be actually very quick. I'm gonna skip the king chair. And I'm just gonna go and show off the final 2 towers, and then we can, go directly into Cassie, and kind of do it, like, along the way. So, I'm doing the intentional way through the Lost Woods right now. Earlier when I came here the first time, I did the secret way, because if you do it that way, you get a chest. It's left, 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 up, up, up. But that is an extra transition, and it's faster to just go through the intended way. Okay, so here's Dark Hyrule Castle. So all we're gonna do is we're just gonna be doing Ocarina Glitch, to, get to places earlier than we're supposed to. So we get Ocarina Glitch off this staircase, and we're gonna run all the way around here. Very important, we don't bonk on that first screen, otherwise we softlock. But now we've left the first screen and time isn't moving like normal, we don't softlock. So we're going to come up to here, we hit layer 2, and now we can walk over to the terrain of everything. And I had the blue warp enabled already. If you go through a warp, you will lose Ocarina Glitch. So I could have gone up and activated like the Ocarina Glitch earlier, but I wanted to show the way of getting to... We're in now the second section of the dungeon before, like, without having to go through the normal way, and even if we didn't have the warp, we would be here right now. So you would normally have, like, the cape equipped or whatever if you didn't do these sections already and have to jump through that door. I'll demonstrate it here. This door here, I can't go through. I have to do a precise cape jump here, and I jump back into bounds by doing that. Right, these guys, great. Beautiful. Oh, okay, one of them didn't get hit. So with Ocarina Glitch enabled, we're gonna kill these guys, and activate the, Actually, I want to go up the top first, because we just activated the red warp. I want to show off this room. So this room, because we've got Ocarina Glitch, we get to walk over... Oh, I didn't roll. Okay, very important. You need to roll at the beginning of every room that you enter with the Ocarina Glitch to update what tile you're on. Otherwise, yeah, it thinks you're inside of the doorway. And then I roll, and I'm out of bounds like this. Oh, yeah. I was like, why did I want to equip bombs? That's why, because we can just equip bombs and put it over there. Nice. So here, in this room, there's another cool glitch we can do. We activate all of these guys to open the doorway. We come over to the left. And we get hit by the fire bar at a very specific angle. There was a position on the wall that I was lining up with, and we get angle retention off of a fire bar. And that lets us push that block diagonally instead of having to push it normally and locking ourselves out. So now I am going to... I won't do anything else, actually. I'm just going to go directly to Vati and just do the boss now. I say that. I'm going to very quickly go and just refill on hearts, because Vati can absolutely mess you up. I just don't want to run over my allotment of time, so, actually, is that enough? I'll go check this one more. Yeah. 5 minutes is a little bit short on time to do Vati, so we will just rush there right now. But hopefully we get some really fast fights. Ideally, each phase of the boss takes less than a minute, so, it's just the final phase takes 3. Or 2-ish, so... I am stupid. Oops. I forgot. With this rando, I keep forgetting to set my clone count. Right, okay. This room's very nice, because we just use Great Spin. Makes it very quick. Except for when there's a guy there. Unfortunate. Okay. It's very important to not let, like, the side link is on have, like, a heating right there. Okay, so here we're gonna bonk, right here, and it double stacks these cutscenes. The Dark Nuts and the Eslotechs appear at the same time. These guys aren't going to behave nicely at all, so I'm going to do my best to fight them, kill the red ones first, get them out of the way. At the beginning of the fight, I was really hoping for the Black Knight to just dash down, because I could just kill him. That was a decently recovered fight. If the Black Knight dashes down, we can do a perfect manipulated fight. Where we just insta-kill the Black Knight. And then the final two guys are just sitting ducks, and we can clear them off very quickly. Vati 1. So normally in like an any% speedrun, all of this would be RNG manipulated to behave exactly the same. In Rando, we have enough to never have to really RNG manipulate it. Great Spin, all of the absurd abilities and everything make this a consistent fight. We just need them to make it. Okay, cool. Right, and now that's Vati 1 dealt with. Nice quick kill on him. Yeah, Great Spin lets us do double damage, like even more damage, so we get to 3-cycle that instead of doing a 5-cycle. We're going to do a down strike here. I mistimed it. I wanted to do a down strike with my with the item equip change. Yeah, so Vati 2 is a very hectic boss that requires a lot of practice. And yeah, some of the things that we have here in the rando, okay. Yeah, the things in the rando help out a lot, like the having the bow butterfly. I mean, I'm doing muscle memory like boot capsules, like tapping the boots as the arrow fires. But things like Great Spin make this fight a lot easier, because you just get the Great Spin and then cancel your bones like that, and it makes it a lot easier to quick kill him. So Vati, there's a very bizarre interaction that happens to get that quick kill. If you do a spin attack with clones on Vati, it doesn't deal damage, it sets his health value to a specific value. Now, it happens to be 1 above his like death threshold, and the more spin attacks that you do and stuff don't do more damage, it keeps setting the value to that. So you have to do a normal spin attack with Link, or a sword slash or something to kill it. Oh, can I strike? Please, thank you. There we go. Right. So, not time for Vati 3. Now, if we do this kind of clutch, we're just going to be overestimated. That's unfortunate. I went and did a bunch of extra stuff just to show things off, because I wanted to just, like, exactly hit the 3-hour mark. Right. So, this final hand is in the dark, and I'm going to do it in the dark. Okay, we got him. Yeah, that is lanternless. Nice. That was done in the dark. You have to just use audio cues and like a mental map of like where things should be in the room. Cool. Right, and then now we're playing tennis with Vati. We'll stand in the right spot, do a roll attack into him, he does enough damage. You just need to do 2 sword hits on him. And luckily, a roll attack is a stab, which is like half a slash, but then a spin attack, which is 2. So, and the trick to Vati 3 is the moment that you've done enough damage, which is the 2 slashes, do 3, you know, just to be safe. Create your clones immediately and stand directly in front of him, and he will always fire blue balls at you, and he won't do the electric attack. Stand far enough back, and GG's. Sorry, I was 15 seconds over. I timed that pretty well, I think, to try and be able to show off as much stuff as possible in the 3-hour time slot we have. But yeah, GG's. That's the Minish Cap Rando with lots of glitches and cool stuff that we can show off to That makes it quite different to the speed run, and like kind of like honestly super fun in comparison. Like a lot of the stuff in the speed run is like really hard because you just have less things, but with the randomizer you just have all of these items and you get to do different strats in different ways, and it's very cool. Some really consistent strats that make the game like super fun. The only problem is just finding them because it's rando, you don't know where they are. um So, who have we got next? It's Zelda trivia. We got a Zelda trivia quiz coming up next. And it looks like everyone over in the BC is, or people gathering in the BC. They've got a couple more minutes, so you know we'll do some stuff here. Oh, my timer is green, and my my background is also green, so it looks invisible, but the timer is still there. Hold on. I thought I had a different layout for this. Let's change the color. There we go. Okay, there, we're done. Let me skip to the credits. Well, I am in the credits. Let me skip the game credits. Oh, here's the randomizer credits. So here's the names of everyone that has been involved in Minish Maker, the team behind making this version of the randomizer, the standalone. There is also the there's an archipelago version that is being worked on based off of this version. That can be played in the as part of an archipelago multi-world. It has slightly less features than this, so we don't have things like the dungeon entrance shuffle, but they are like in development and being added. So, but yeah, we have on the end screen here, we have like think times and stuff of like where what we've done, like how long it's taken to do things. I'm just going to see if they want me to. I'm going to join into the marathon voice chat, and when, yeah. So sorry, I also don't have chat. Hi. When everyone's ready for the trivia, they can come jump into the marathon chat. You can be on stream. I think I have my audio coming through, so everyone should be heard immediately. We'll see how that goes. Oh yeah. Yeah, a couple other things I wanted to show was my button counts. Can I just quickly add that onto the layout? I definitely don't want to press that button. Okay. Can I add... Where is it? MU Hawk? Nope, that is the wrong thing. It's this, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's go here. Yeah. Yeah, here's my button counts. How many buttons I pressed in the seed just now? Kind of interesting. Only a few select presses. What is the most? It was the A button, wasn't it? Oh no, it was the R button. Yeah, I'm mashing R a lot for rolling. Makes sense. Direction inputs. Well, which one do we press the least? Right or down? Down, down. We press down the least. Press left the most. Interesting. Yeah, no, don't worry. Take all the time you need. I'm just filling. Yeah, there is. Yeah, so that's the button count. Yeah, what else do we have? We got like enemy kills. So the stats in the ROM here are a little bit buggy. They're written to a section of memory which was believed to be empty, but it's not. So it then ends up getting like overwriting other data, and other data starts overwriting this, and we're reading it, and it's not exactly accurate. So yeah, we killed 13 Darknuts. What's the most enemies we did kill? 13 Darknuts, 16 Keys. We killed 16 Keys? I don't think I killed that many, did I? 21 Wizrobe. Oh, I guess we do. How many Wizrobes do we kill? We do kill a lot of Wizrobes, actually, now thinking about it. 17 ropes. 26 Moldozers. I guess it's the Moldozers, isn't it? There's so many. Pestos. Where are Pestos? We're always killing Pestos. Wait, is this the build that doesn't have Pestos as an enemy? No, it is that 9. I'm surprised that we only killed 9. Item uses, Smith's Sword, we got 59. The green sword we used 88 of, and then the red sword was 15, and then it was the blue sword we were with for a real long time. We had that for, we used 468 times. Yeah, the 4 sword was found at the 2-hour mark. A lot of these items we got, like, either in the first hour or after 2 hours. Cool, if you're ready, do you want me to end stream, or are you gonna hop in and say hi or whatever? I can just end stream, and then, like, you can all jump in and get ready if you want it to do it that way around. Oh, you set the trivia up for the green room. Okay, I'll end stream then. Good luck, everyone, on the trivia. Hi, Julie. Thanks for popping in. Yes, we got trivia. So yeah, hope everyone enjoyed the Minish cap. Go and enjoy the trivia. See you in a moment. Goodbye.